Like when you take a look at what Smoky Valley has done this season, you guys are starting to put the pieces together here at the right time. A couple of really good weeks, obviously the double overtime win against Goodland, and then you hung tough with a really tough Scott City team last week. Can you kind of just tell me what that's done for the confidence of this team here going down the back stretch to be competing with these teams?
Well, I don't know. We're just trying to get better each week, and our kids have, they fought hard all year long, and they continue to get better. We try not to talk about, who we're even playing and what records are, and we just go out to practice and just try to get better, and they've done a pretty good job of that. I think we're playing much better than we were, week one. So that's kind of what we're focusing on again this week. I think when you play better, your confidence, gets better, but at the same time, you got to do things right in practice to get better. So we've done a good job of that.
You mentioned trying to kind of get better every week, and it seems like you guys have. Again, when you kind of look week to week at what Smoky Valley has accomplished this season, it seems like you're putting it together at the right time. Does it feel like the guys are a little bit more loose in the locker room, having kind of found some success here in the back part of the schedule?
I don't know. We're not, we're not the biggest kids in the world, and we're not the fastest kids in the world. But we got some kids that are pretty tough, pretty resilient. They like to play, and obviously, if you're not as talented as other people, you obviously can't play tight. So I think we're more comfortable competing, and if that means we're loose, I don't know if that's the word to use, but I think we're a lot more comfortable playing teams than we were early. Yeah.
So let's talk X's and O's. I know that your offense kind of struggled to get off the ground this year. In 3 of your first 4 games, you were unable to find the scoreboard. But again, you've kind of gotten this group clicking over the last couple of weeks. What kind of adjustments have you guys made in these last 2 or 3 games on the offensive end to really start putting numbers up on the board?
Well, we just got better at what we were doing. We didn't. We really haven't changed anything. We've kind of just we've eliminated some things in the offense so that we could practice on, the things that maybe we could would make us better. So we got simpler, but other than that, we really haven't. Our kids have just worked hard and got better.
Fair enough. Taking a look at your matchup this week with Southeast of Saline, of course, Southeast getting kind of that almost like a bye week with the COVID stuff going on with Goodland last week. When you look at this Southeast of Saline team, taking a look at your offense, again, a group that's kind of sped up the last couple of weeks, what is kind of the game plan when you're going up against a defense like SES that has allowed points in only 2 quarters all season long?
Well, we're just going to try to get first downs and run the clock, and maybe we can get a turnover here or there, but they're a talented group. They're well coached. They're just a really, really good football team. So we're just going to try to grind it out a little bit, see what happens. I don't know. We may have some tricks under our sleeves, but those things are just temporary. So you got to be able to sustain things, and we'll just have to wait and see if we're able to do any of that.
Sure. Before I leave the offense, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the season that Tristan Stambaugh has been having at running back. 86 carries for him so far this year. What does he bring to the table for this offense? Him and Jake Lucas as well, in terms of really being able to kind of open up that running game.
Well, Tristan plays fullback for us, and we try every week to get that fullback going a little bit so that the rest of our offense kind of flows off of that. So he gets a lot of carries, and we ask him to try to get yards after contact, and he's a sophomore, and he's gotten better. So he gets more carries, and Jake he's our quarterback, and he quarterback runs stuff. He's as good as I've had. I've had some good quarterbacks, and he's as good as any of the quarterbacks that I've had in the past that ran our offense, and he did a real good job running the football.
Taking a look at the defensive unit that you guys have this year, you've got a good mix here of, a couple of veteran guys, a couple of younger guys. Who have really kind of been the guys that have stepped up and impressed you on the defensive end that people should be paying attention to this week?
Well, I don't know if it's been any one kid. Our defense as a whole has gotten better, and we haven't. We gave up a bunch of points week one, and we gave up a bunch of points against Hillsborough, and ended up winning that game. We haven't played bad defensively all year. I think we're getting better. We're learning how to get off the field on third down. So those types of things. But I don't think it's been any one or two kids or even three kids. I think our whole defense has gotten better, and I think we're getting better at preparing for what other people are trying to do, and that's helped us out.
Sticking with that defense, who are some of the guys on the Southeast of Saline offense that you're really going to be keying on this week and trying to contain to get a win at home?
Well, they have a lot of weapons. Of course, their quarterback and their tailback are really good. They're really good as we've seen, obviously, this year. So, you got to try to contain them, and then you get them contained, and then they can throw the ball. Number 4 is a good receiver, 44. 26 is a good football player. I mean, they got talent. I don't know, if you dial in on one person or they can hurt you in so many different ways. So you just got to try to stay balanced and not give up big plays and make them earn the points that they get. I think that's really kind of what we're trying to do, is make them snap the ball, slow them down a little bit. But I don't know about containing anybody.
All right, Coach, one more question for you. What is going to be the biggest key in this game? Smoky Valley is able to get a home win and hand Southeast their first loss of the year. If they can, what?
Well, like I said, we're gonna have to, eliminate the big play defensively, and then we're gonna have to get some turnovers. If we're able to do that, you get to the fourth quarter, then maybe we got a shot. We got to play extremely, extremely hard, and we have done that. So we'll see. But we're going to need to definitely win the turnover battle, eliminate the big play, and then we're going to also have to make first downs on offense. You don't necessarily have to score every time we get the ball, but we've got to be able to run some clock and make first downs.
All right, that'll about do it. Coach Lambert, thank you once again so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
And we'll have more Countdown to Kickoff courtesy of Saline Septic Service right after this.
Generations of confidence, relationships for life. Since established in business in 1887, the Bank of Tuscan has built its reputation on personal service and community promotion. Family owned and locally operated in the communities of Tuscan, Lincoln, Saline, and Lindsborg. The Bank of Tuscan strives to provide customers with a competitive array of loan and deposit products that aid in their financial success. Visit us today and see why so many people have helped the Bank of Tuscan become one of the strongest banks in Kansas. Bank of Tuscan, member FDIC.
We're growing your way. We're the Bank of Tuscan.
Family, integrity, service, and opportunity. These are the guiding values that drive our company. That's what makes us different at United Capital Management. We know your history, your family. We celebrate with you and support you during life's many events. It's more than money. It's about relationships we can build for years and years. Let us customize a plan specific for you so that you can pursue your goals. Call 785-823-7900 or visit ucmofkansas.com to speak with an advisor and learn firsthand what UCM can do for you.
Back here on Countdown to Kickoff, it's brought to you by Comfort Heating and Air, getting ready for a district football game on the road at Lindsborg to play the Smoky Valley Vikings. Time now for our pregame chat with Mitch Gebhardt, head coach of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. It's brought to you by United Capital Management. Boy, Coach, the last couple of weeks have just been a little bit touch and go, as you know, and it seemed a little weird last Friday night, I'm sure, for everybody involved. You just kind of you got ready for something that didn't happen, and it just didn't know till the last minute. You know, in basketball, you're watching weather, you have freezing rain, you have a chance. We might not play, but that's not the case here, is it?
No, it really wasn't, and it did make it weird for not just Friday, but for the weekend also. And I hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, absolutely. We get a game for Goodland scratched from the schedule, so we got to go back now 2 weeks to look at the last football game. That was the game at Colby against the Colby Eagles. A couple of really cool things about this game. The loss for Colby to Southeast of Saline, 32-8, was their first regular season loss since 2018. Also, their first loss on that home field out at Colby since 2016. They hadn't given up any points in the first half all season, and Southeast comes out up 16-0 at halftime. Talk about getting into that game, the road trip, and also how you performed in the first half.
You know, and honestly, the road trip wasn't bad. It's kind of weird, I guess, but and we talked about this before that. You know, our kids are used to getting in a vehicle, going somewhere and playing. So the road trip wasn't a big deal. I really felt like we started the game out well, kind of set the tone there as the game opened up, and to take a 16-0 lead into the halftime was a big deal for us because we knew Colby's a good football team.
You go on to in the second half. They get a couple of big quarterback sacks. Jackson was running around trying to make something happen, and big losses on the play. I want to get your thoughts on those plays, but also the momentum that it created within the stadium for Colby.
Yeah, and it did. And, Jackson's a kid that's going to try to make a play, and he probably shouldn't have reversed back, especially in that first one, to get out of the way there. And he's done that before and gotten away from it and then made a play out of it. It just didn't happen that time. I think he lost 22 yards on that play, and then the very next play he lost 12 or 13. So that's not the right direction for our offense to go. And you did feel a little momentum swing there, but we kind of stepped up then. Our defense really stepped up then after that happened and made some plays, and our offense did a good job of managing the game from there on out.
When your defense came out on the field after they scored and then had the football come to them again, it was a pick six by your defense. Eli Harris was in the area. Jackson Gebhardt was in the area. Jackson ultimately gets the football away from the receiver. I thought, honestly, it was a case of who was going to get to that football first, and Jackson came in from behind, was able to step in front of the receiver and get the football, and then it was a free pass to the end zone. And that really, you could tell then, it was just a sense of in that game, in that moment, that game was over.
Yeah, he made a really good break on the ball, and honestly, live, I thought maybe he arrived a little bit early, but as we watched it on the film, he timed that just right and got the pick. And we had other guys that were in coverage in the right spots, made the quarterback force the ball a little bit there maybe, and they ran that a couple times, and Jackson read it very well and picked that ball off. And that was kind of the closing out of the game there that kind of finished things up. We felt like we were in control, but when we got that touchdown, that was big for us.
You guys come in I'm talking about Southeast of Saline and Colby, the top two scoring defenses in the state in Class 3A. For you to limit them to only 8 points, and at the same time, your defense not giving up points, but also creating plays and responsible for 2 touchdowns in this game, that had to feel good. Yeah,
it really did. I thought that was we played good defense all year, and I felt like we played as well there or better there than we played all year. And to get a couple scores like that on defense, that's a big deal. And honestly, we left some points out there on the field that we probably could have scored on offense that we didn't take advantage of those. So, I felt like both offense and defense, we played pretty well.
Get a big victory on the road, 32-8. You go to a perfect 5-0, coming back now, preparing for Goodland in a game that didn't happen last Friday. I'm just curious, your system throughout the week, obviously you don't have a chance once you put the Goodland game plan in to go back and evaluate that game plan and evaluate how people played in that game. All of a sudden you show up to practice and it's just kind of getting ready for somebody else, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is, and that's what we spent most of Monday evaluating and taking care of what we did. We spent a lot of time on our film on Mondays, before we started on the next team, and we didn't have that this week, and so that's a hopefully we continue to take steps forward because of that. But anytime a coach watches a film, he's going to find some things that we didn't do correctly, and we didn't get a half film last Friday, so that was on a long list of things. It was disappointing not playing that game. That was another one that, we just didn't have film on ourselves to watch to get better. And, yeah, we started in on Monday then watching film in Smoky Valley, talking about game plans and doing those things. And that's just what we did. I had to switch gears and go because it was Monday and it was time to get started playing for the next team.
I'm not talking about the mental aspect, the physical aspect, anything like that to do on the field with the cancellation of the Goodland game. I want to talk about the standings and as far as district play. We all keep a close eye this time of year on wins, losses, and points. How does losing the Goodland game affect either positive or negative Southeast of Saline standings so far?
Well, you lose a game and your percentage would be different depending on how the whole thing plays out. And, that's what we kind of got to look at. We want to take care of business and do our job and do those things and get through this district play and then continue on with the season. But, losing a game could factor in depending on who beats who and everything else as far as the district play.
When you get ready for the game tonight with Smoky Valley, this is really one of those weeks you can kind of almost see that the beginning of the end is near. And by that, I mean the top 4 teams in this district are playing each other this week. This could really be a determination week of where people fall, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could. And that's kind of the way this time of year gets for everybody. You kind of see how things could happen. Like we preach all the time, and you hear it 100 times a week, I know, but we want to go 1-0. We want to play really well this week and take care of our business and not have to rely on somebody else later on. We've kind of had to do that the last couple of years, and, we've had to go on the road there the first round of playoffs, and we'd like to not have to do that.
On the field, how did the Trojans prepare this week? How'd the week go for the JV team ended their season on a high note?
Yeah, they did. We thought maybe we get to go play Republic County next Monday, but that game's not going to work out for us. So we did. We played a pretty good Abilene JV team and beat them 24-6 Monday night, and I was really proud of. We had some young guys really step up and play well. That may have been the best JV game we played all year, and that's outstanding to finish that way. So they ended up undefeated. Our JV guys are 6-0, and that's exciting for our program.
Smoky Valley on the schedule tonight. This is another road game for Southeast of Saline, and this is a team in the Vikings. They've lost some close games. Last week, a 1-point loss to Scott City. What do you know about the Vikings down the road in Lindsborg?
And that's just what they do. They do what they need to stay in football games. If you watch film on them, they're well coached, and they got some awful good football players over there. And we're going to have to bring the best we got to get after these guys. They do a good job on offense, and they play physical, tough defense, and so we're going to have to be ready to go.
Last time you guys were on turf out of Russell, we saw an explosion in that game. This is just a surface that the kids love to play on, isn't it? It doesn't matter. I mean, I was really impressed with the Colby grass, by the way. That was a field that I thought looked great, especially for this time of year. But there's just something about the artificial surface that the kids enjoy, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's even more so this time of year. Artificial surface could be a little bit warmer, which is we try not to worry about what the weather's like, but this time of year, man, turf seems like it's faster, and I was proud of the way we played out there at Russell. I felt like we executed very well and everything else, but it's good for those kids to get to play on turf. And Colby Field was outstanding. You bet it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Setting up for a big matchup next week. I know you don't want to talk about Scott City at all, but this is a big game here against Smoky Valley. This could either put you in a position to play for a district championship or get Smoky Valley out of the way, however you want to look at it. What are the keys to success tonight for your Trojans?
I think we're going to continue to play physical. We had a good week of practice this week, and we were physical in practice, and we've got to continue to do that against everybody. That's such a big part of our game, and it's going to be a fast surface, but we got to still do what we do offensively and defensively, and we need to take care of the football, eliminate mistakes, don't put the football on the ground, and on defense, go try to get the football, try to create turnovers against Smoky Valley.
Mitch Gebhardt, head coach of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. His guys tonight on the road, a short road trip to Smoky Valley to take on the Vikings. Coach, best of luck to you. We'll talk to you at halftime.
All right, thank you.
Back with more pregame. It's Comfort Heating and Air's countdown to kickoff after this on KINA.
You're telling me your driver turns you on remotely?
It feels so good. One gentle touch of a handy remote or mobile app and my motor's running. And don't fret, my little pickup pal. New Image Audio installs these inside trucks too.
Oh, yeah.
You'll want it when the winter chill hits. A remote start from New Image Audio for cars, trucks, even diesels. All systems remote and self phone capable, nationwide coverage. Get yours at New Image Audio on South Broadway
in Salina.
This has been Countdown to Kickoff. The opening kick is right around the corner.
It's about to get ugly.
Back to the stadium we go for Trojan football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back into the campus of Bethany College in Lindsborg. Devin Haney along with Tyler Henry. Jathan Show is on the field tonight on the Saline Ortho sidelines at Big Sam Pretty back at Studio Central, the KINA studios on South Ohio Street, Eagle Radio in Salina. This is a big matchup here for Southeast of Saline tonight as we get ready for district play. This will be the third game of district. I can't say week number 3 or week number 4 because it's really kind of not either. It is going to be the third game of district play for Southeast of Saline and a chance for the Trojans to get back on going here. They had an unexpected bye, of course, last week. When we look at the district standings coming into tonight, Scott City is 3-0 in district play. They have a 42-point on the plus side, and it's a 14-point average. Now, when you look at the average, according to Keisha, that's the how many games you've played and how many points, negative or positive, you are. That's where Scott City is right now. Southeast of Saline right behind, still undefeated, but 2-0, one game behind. And the win column of Scott City, they have an average, though, of 21 points per game, getting a perfect score in both of their first 2 games. Colby is sitting in third. Colby is 2-1 with that lone loss coming to Southeast of Saline. Colby and Scott City play each other tonight. That will be in Scott City. We'll keep an eye on that as we go through tonight on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. And then the 4th-ranked team in Class 3A District 6 is the Smoky Valley Vikings, who we're getting ready to see here at Tyler Henry. And when you look at this game, the coin toss getting ready to happen right now out at midfield. Eli Harris, Matthew Rodriguez, Jackson Gebhardt on their way out to the circle for Southeast of Saline. The Smoky Valley team, when you look at them on paper and when I'm charting this team, it looks to me, and just kind of in my head, I'm thinking this is one of those teams that could give Southeast of Saline a lot of problems. But then when I look at their offensive statistics and the result of those offensive drives, it's still a team that only averages 12.5 points per game, and they've been shut out 3 times this year.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because I think this is the most respect that I've heard Coach Gebhardt give to a team outside of Colby this year in terms of how physical they like to play. But, yeah, you're right. When you look at the numbers, I mean, this is a team that they don't have any kind of an aerial attack to throw at you. They haven't had a passing touchdown throughout the entire course of the season. They're just very one-dimensional, and we've already seen what happens when teams that get too run-heavy try to run the ball against Southeast of Saline. It does not work. So, you know, if you're SES, if you stop the run, you feel pretty confident about your ability. And then on the other side of the ball, all you got to do is put a few points up and let that defense go to work. So I think the edge favors Southeast of Saline in this game, but this is a Smoky Valley team that's starting to put it together here in the latter part of the season. Of course, the 1-point win over Goodland last week.
Those New Image Audio keys to the game tonight. New Image Audio in Salina on Broadway across from Ace Hardware. Remote starts. I love remote start any time of the year. It cools my car off during the summer. More importantly, though, it heats it up, gets all the ice and frost and snow off of it during the winter. New Image Audio, if your car does not have remote start, they are the people to put it in. Check them out, Broadway Street, just across from Ace Hardware in Salina. Those are your New Image Audio keys to the game. Weather forecast tonight, conditions, well, it's football season, and that means fall-like weather tonight. Here at kickoff, 56 degrees. There is a south wind, 15 miles per hour. And that wind will actually increase as we go towards this game. It'll be about 20 miles per hour by the time we conclude this contest, with the temperature dropping about 4 degrees down to 55 degrees here on the campus of Bethany College. Brand new artificial surface. They replaced the turf in the offseason. Brand new turf right now. Smoky Valley on one end zone, Bethany on the other. We are underway as Jude Golden puts the football in the air. He angles us over to the right-hand side, and that football hits the turf, and Smoky Valley will watch it bounce out of bounds. The Vikings will start out at their own 35-yard line. Tyler, you said it. This is a team. They are run-heavy.
Yeah, run-heavy might be a bit of an understatement. 0 touchdowns through the air for them so far this season, and they have only amassed 278 yards through the air through 6 games, about 50 yards a game coming into this one. So don't expect them to do a whole lot of passing, and again, for Southeast Saline, you shut them up the middle, you shut them up on offense.
Quarterback is Jake Lucas. He's a senior, 6'2", 185 pounds. Jake, not that much of a threat to throw. He is a threat to run, though. With 355 yards and 3 touchdowns this year, he is part of that 3-headed monster out of the backfield that will go run heavy. It'll be 4 backs along with the quarterback. and no wide receivers on the first play of the game. Lucas rolls out, being chased by Sterling Harp, still being chased. He wants to throw and goes behind his receiver that's covered up by Chase Pogue here on the near sideline. That ball intended for tight end Haven Lysell, and it's incomplete behind the intended receiver. And just as we talk about really no threat to pass, here they are on first down throwing a pass.
Yeah, well, and part of the problem, though, is what you just saw. It's not that they don't pass in terms of attempts. The receivers haven't really been able to reel it in. They've got one guy that's been even a little consistent this season. Aside from him, no real consistency in the receiving game.
Lucas throwing the football, 22 out of 54, 278 yards, no touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So that gives you a nutshell of his passing game so far here in 2020. One wide receiver to the right-hand side. Here is a football on the turf, and it's going to be chased after back into the backfield. If Lindsborg picked it up and Smoky Valley keeps it here, it'll be a 4-yard loss, and they will back to the 31-yard line on that mishandle for Smoky Valley.
That quarterback there, he was a little afraid of Matthew Rodriguez coming up there next to Sterling Harp. He has had a hard time getting that handle off that snap.
So a loss of 4 on 2nd down and 10 will bring up 3rd down and 14. Not a situation you want to be in against this Southeast of Saline defense. Dawson Adams, Sterling Harp, Dalton Bunch up front. They have a great core of linebackers behind them as well. Bunch and Adams, they rotate. Bunch now going to the Southeast of Saline side. Looks like all the linemen for Smoky Valley moved early, and they will go back another 5 yards, guys.
Yeah, not what you want to start against Southeast of Saline. You can't give up any free yardage on either side. Also, going back to your point, Devin, about the interceptions so far this season, we were watching him in the pregame, and he just doesn't have a lot of zip on that football. And when you have ball-hawking cornerbacks and safeties like what Southeast of Saline has, guys like Jackson Gebhardt, you are going to be getting a lot of turnover. So look for that at some point in this game. If he floats a lollipop, Southeast is going to come down with it.
Breeding, Rodriguez, Harris, Pogue, all could be part of that linebacking core, along with Bryant Banks. Your corners, Chase Pogue and Michael Murray. Your safety, Jackson and Luca Gebhardt, both in there right now. Pogue giving about 10 yards of cushion. Now he'll come up to the wide receiver for this 3rd and long. They're going to run it right at the middle and play safe. Pick up about 3 yards on the play, but no more than that. The ball carrier on that play for Smoky Valley. Not sure who that was. Actually, that was an offensive lineman that rotated to running back right before the game. That's actually Kurt Shugren, who took the ball that time. He's usually their left guard, but he got rotated into running back after an injury and a questionable Tristan Stambaugh tonight. So Smoky Valley ready to punt. Gebhardt and Michael Murray back between the 35 and 40-yard lines, and we're going to have another flag on the play, another procedure penalty here against the Vikings. This will back the line of scrimmage up now to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, again, you don't want to give Southeast any free yards, but they've already done it 3 times here, so it's going to back up the spot of the punt. Southeast of Saline is going to be in really good field position to start their first offensive drive of the night.
Smoky Valley with just 4 yards here on their first drive. Now backed up to the punt that's going to come from the 10-yard line. This is a really bad punt that angles to the right-hand hash. It's going to be touched and then recovered. Do the Vikings have this? They do. Did Southeast of Saline touch it? And I don't think they did. The officials come in, and they're going to say Smoky Valley football.
I didn't see anyone from Southeast of Saline in the area on that. I mean, there were a couple of guys that were kind of close, but nobody, I think, that would have touched it. But the way Smoky Valley jumped on it, it looked like they may have seen something we didn't.
Jathan, we'll come to you after this play. You have a tough angle down there, too. We'll come to you after this first down for Smoky Valley from the 45-yard line. A turnover for Southeast of Saline. Puts the Vikings in good position here. Lucas ducks under center. He fakes it to the first back through, and then he tried to stretch it out to the edge, and Eli Harris is there to arrest him. Jathan, take it away.
Yeah, Caden Isaacson, the way he was coming off the field, knew that he touched his, got him in the back leg as he couldn't clear out quick enough and try to find the ball, so it touched Caden Isaacson on that punt return.
And sometimes with these college-type fields with the lights way up in the air and a different type of lighting too, it can play some tricks on your eyes, and I don't know if that's what happened to Southeast that time or not, but nonetheless, the defense will stay on the field here after they threw Smoky Valley for a 2-yard loss on first down.
Yeah, you got the lights. You also have the weird bounce off the turf. It's a little bit different than what you see on grass like Southeast has at home.
Good point. 2nd down and 12, 3 backs in the backfield behind quarterback Lucas. He takes the snap, rolls back, gives it to the third back through, picking his way off the right-hand side. I believe that's going to be Shugren again as he comes in. Actually, that's going to be Brant Hebel. Plays wide receiver and running back. And Hebel's going to bring it ahead for a gain of 5.
Yeah, and talking to Coach in the pregame, that was one thing they'd like to do with Hebel. They can bring him on jet sweeps if they have him split out wide, but he also gets a pretty decent chunk of the carries. He's kind of that fourth guy for Smoky Valley coming into this game.
39 carries, 137 yards, and a touchdown so far this year in his senior season for Brant Hebel. 3rd down and 7 for Smoky Valley. They're approaching the 50-yard line. Here's Lucas. He gives it to the first guy through, trying to shake off would-be tacklers from southeast of Saline. Crossing the 50-yard line is Kurt Shugren, and Shugren's going to have it to the 49 in southeast territory, but it's still going to be 4th down and 4.
Yeah,
3.
Yeah, once again, Southeast just shutting everything down. And here's the beauty of what their defense is doing right now. They're basically going out there and playing 9 on 11 because their corners are just sitting on the contain on the outside, and the guys at the middle are getting it all done.
Looked like Smoky Valley may go for it, but now they're going to fall into punt formation. Tristan Stambaugh, the running back that is listed as questionable, not playing on offense, will be out there to punt. Stambaugh puts his foot into it. This one a little bit better than that last punt. Gebhardt will take it at the 28-yard line. Comes to the right now, curls back to the left, shakes a tackle, and all that running around for a 2-yard gain. Gebhardt made it to the 30-yard line. So southeast of Saline gets a stop. Took him a little bit longer than expected to do so, but no first downs obtained for Smoky Valley on 2 possessions, and southeast of Saline will take over. Up front, doing the blocking for southeast of Saline tonight, Logan Sanders, the left tackle. Left guard is Braxton Blake. Sterling Harp is your all-league center. Dalton Bunch at right guard. Dawson Adams at right tackle. They'll also have help from Eli Jackson, Evan Nicholson, and Wade Rutherford. Here's the snap back to Jackson Gebhardt. They give it to Banks. He starts to the middle, does it outside, punished as a Viking, and he's going to roll ahead across the sticks to the 44-yard line. Bryant Banks just steamrolled a black jersey on his way of a gain of 14 yards.
I mean, you see Banks put the shoulder down, and you just know that he's seeking out the contact at that point. Generally, guys can hang on for dear life, but oh boy, that was one of the most aggressive hits we've seen out of Bryant Banks this season.
Brian Banks, the tailback, along with Jackson Gebhardt, as the quarterbacks. Sawyers, Harris, Murray, Tyler Breeding, all the skill players on this offense. Here's Banks. Stutter steps to the left, now back to the right. Almost lost the football, but he fell on top of it on his way to a gain of 2.
Well, this feels like a kind of a big Bryant Banks type of night for southeast of Saline. Coach Gebhardt said he wanted to kind of run the ball a little bit more in this game against a physical team, and that's what you're going to have to do the deeper we get into the season.
From the 47-yard line, southeast of Saline will throw it on 2nd down and 8 out to Tyler Breeding. That's been the favorite target of Jackson Gebhardt this year, and Breeding will be very close to a first down as he crosses the midfield stripe. He will stretch it all the way out to the 47-yard line where it's going to be 3rd down and 1.
Well, Devin, how good has the maturity been out of this wide receiving core? That was really the one thing you told me that this team kind of lacked last season, but this year the receivers have really done a good job of stepping up, and there are no holes on this team.
And Gebhardt loves to spread it around. 3rd down and 1 from the 47-yard line. Into Viking territory. They fake it to Banks. Gebhardt stretching it out. Has the first down and more. Into Smoky Valley territory to the 40 to the 35 and brought down there just inside of the 35-yard line goes Jackson Gebhardt. It's a gain of 13, and southeast of Saline is on a drive.
Yeah, the Trojans moving the ball at will, and they're doing it all to the outside. So far, almost every play we've seen has gone to that right side, and they've just run it down the sideline. Haven't really had a whole lot up the middle. Haven't had a whole lot here on the near side where we're facing.
The wind kind of swirling here at the stadium. Right now it's to the back of southeast of Saline if there is an advantage. Here's the give to Banks. Banks still rolling through in the second level. Looked like he was going to go down. A little spin move will take him ahead to the 17, and another big gain for southeast of Saline. They just cut the distance to goal in half, went from the 34 to the 17, and southeast of Saline now in the Can-Equip red zone.
Devin, Bryant Banks just shucked a tackler with his shoulder that he was holding the football with.
Yes, sir. From the 17 after a 17-yard gain. Pitch out to Banks. Left-hand side finds a crease. Another spin move, and he barrel rolls down to the 10. It's a gain of 7, and Bryant Banks is averaging 10 yards a carry here early on in this contest.
Yeah, this defense just has no answer for him right now. They can run the ball wherever they want. They're getting good blocks up front, and then, again, you get Banks that 4, 5, 6-yard space to get a little head of steam. He's tough to bring down in open field.
Banks still in there. Eli Harris will stay in tight. Also, Matthew Rodriguez, a tight end on the left-hand side. That's a newer look. Here's Banks. He'll run that way behind Rodriguez. Gets a couple of Vikings. He's going to take on a courtesy ride into the end zone. Bryant Banks from 10 yards away has just put southeast of Saline on the board. A touchdown for the Trojans.
perfect. I mean, everything Southeast wanted to do on that drive worked out. I don't think they had a single play where Smoky Valley was able to neutralize a thing that they did. And now they'll bring that classic swinging gate out and try to go for 2 here.
Southeast of Saline, their first offensive drive of the night. And they made it look easy via the run. They had 1 pass in there. It was a completion. Gebhardt will take the snap this time from Banks. Eli Harris on his right side, and they have a direct snap to Chase Bogue, and he will come in from the left-hand side. Both Gebhardt and Harris jumped up in the air that time as it was a bad snap from Banks. It went right in the breadbasket of Chase Bogue, who ran it in easily on the left-hand side. Trojans off to a good start. They're up 8-0. 6:14 left to go first quarter. You're listening to Southeast of Saline football. It's all brought to you by Will Electric in Salina.
The Bennington State Bank proudly supports local sports and wants each student to know that their hard work and talent is noticed and appreciated. At Bennington State Bank, they care about local communities and are committed to fostering long-term relationships through the delivery of excellent customer service, integrity, and fairness. From helping local businesses acquire relief loans to supporting community youth and nonprofits to helping you purchase your dream home or invest in your future, Bennington State Bank is here to help. Give them a call to experience exceptional banking with hometown service. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Nice drive by the Trojans. It started at the 30-yard line, a 70-yard drive. It's capped by a 10-yard Bryant Banks touchdown run. For Bryant Banks, that was his 6th touchdown rushing of the year. Jude Golden now will put his foot into it, back same spot he had before. This time Smoky Valley will field it, and they'll drop it at the 20-yard line, and then the receiver goes down there. Jathan Show, you're down on the Salina Ortho sidelines tonight. What a beautiful night for football.
Sure is a nice night out here at Smoky Valley. Nice to come over to Lindsborg and play for. Since about 2003, haven't played Smoky Valley. Just one point I want to make out is that with Matthew Rodriguez on that outside line, kind of gives some speed for that outside run block for Matthew to get upfield, other than having Eli and Sanders out there. Gives some speed out there for Bryant Banks to get out the outside better.
That's a great point. Smoky Valley backed up here after the botched return at their own 20-yard line. Lucas in there, quarterback. He's going to turn, fakes it to the back through. Now he wants to try the left-hand side. He will plunge ahead for about 3 yards.
And that's really about all you're going to get if you don't break something big in this game against Southeast of Saline. They've done such a good job shutting it down. And again, it's the defensive lineman. It's that 3-man front getting the big push, and then the linebacking core just flying around and getting to the football.
Smoky Valley out to the 23-yard line, where it's going to be 2nd down and 7. Other district games tonight, we capped on them. Scott City hosts Colby, also Goodland and Russell hooking up at the bottom of the district right now. We're going to have a good idea at the end of tonight where this district will stack up. 2nd down and 7. Lucas gives it to the first guy through. That's Shugren again, and Shugren will go to the 25-yard line. That's a gain of 2. He got the call late today. Shugren, we talked about, usually the left guard on offense. Now he switched from 55 to 33 on his jersey number, 6'1", 190 pounds, and he's playing the fullback.
Yeah, I mean, they just need a little bit more size if they're going to try to get through there. The idea, I guess, is you open up a small hole and you hope you can take on one of those linebackers. But when those linebackers are guys like Matthew Rodriguez, that's not exactly a winning strategy.
Ball setting at the 25-yard line. It's 3rd down and 5 for the Vikings. Wearing black jerseys, black helmets, white pants, Southeast of Saline in those road crisp white jerseys. 3rd and 5. Here comes the blitz with Rodriguez. Lucas back to pass. Had a receiver, and it's going to be knocked out of the air by Luke Gebhardt. Looked like Michael Murray may have also got a hand on it as well, and that's going to be incomplete. Bring up 4th down and 5 back at the 25-yard line.
That should have been an interception. 100%. Luke Gebhardt just saw it come into the breadbasket, but Murray stepped in to try to knock it away as well, and those two ended up fighting over it, and ultimately that's going to result in a punt coming up here. So they'll get the ball back, but not in quite as great a field position, and you see my point earlier, Devin, that ball's got nothing on it. These ball-hawking safeties and corners are going to have a field day if they want to go to the air.
Stand by in there. Punt formation, standing with his heels on his own 10. Gebhardt and Murray back at midfield, ready to receive this short punt they're expecting. This is going to be a wobbler, and they will not get a chance at this one as people are trying to get away from it for Southeast of Saline after botching the first punt. And Smoky Valley, he'll have this ball die at the 45-yard line. Southeast of Saline, Jathan Show will come out for the 2nd time, and they will start in prime field position at the 44, already in Viking land.
And that's just where Southeast Saline's defense just doing a nice job stopping the Vikings, and just where they can just keep capitalizing on their offensive side. It might be a good night here for Southeast of Saline on this turf field as Bryant Banks is feeling it as he's cutting back in really well.
Boy, he looks good, doesn't he? You question after a week off without a game, 2 weeks without playing at the varsity level, if you have a little bit of rust to shake off or if it actually helps you health-wise. So far for Southeast of Saline, looks like they have a little bounce in their step. There's a fake to Banks going to the right-hand side, the far side from us here on the home side of the field. To the Southeast of Saline side, Jackson Gebhardt will follow Banks through and trot out of bounds for no gain.
Well, and that's actually the second break that Southeast of Saline's varsity guys have gotten because they didn't play in the second half really against Russell either. So they've had some opportunities to kind of rest up and come back refreshed. And this is the perfect time of the year for it. If you're going to lose a game, you do it and you give yourself a chance to build some momentum in the back half here.
Going to give Jackson a 1-yard gain on first down, brings up 2nd down and 9. Gebhardt now to pass, unleashes it down the hash mark, has Tyler Breeding over the shoulder. He almost hauled it in, looking back over his left shoulder, and that ball's going to hit the turf right inside the 5-yard line. What a spectacular play that would have been, and a candidate for a Will Electric play of the game, but Breeding could not complete the catch.
And
what a play.
Yeah, and that's a tough catch to ask anybody at the high school level to make, but I'll tell you what, that was a dime by Jackson Gebhardt. He put that thing right on the money. And again, if they can start reeling some of those in, I think that's the X factor between this team being a top 5 team in the state and being a real state championship contender.
And to be clear, the defense was there as well.
Yes.
He wasn't an unconsidered receiver, so it's not like he was wide open. 3rd down and 9. Southeast of Saline at the 43 in Viking territory. They're going to fake to Banks. Gebhardt trying to make it through. Still could have maybe pitched late to Bryant Banks as nobody attended to him. But Jackson going to play it safe here and put that one in his pocket. Go ahead for 1 yard, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Now let's see what Southeast of Saline wants to do here. Looks like the Trojans already falling into punt formation.
Which I think is interesting because, again, you're going up against an offense that so far has not put a first down on the board, or has not had a first down yet. And you're, in their territory.
Why.
Yeah,
Why give them field position?
I guess. As now,
they might think about it here. They're going to fall into offense here. So there you go. Jackson Gebhardt flanks 3 receivers out to the right-hand side. Has Banks in the backfield with him. He'll roll that way. The senior quarterback looking. Rises up, throws at the last minute, and a ball that's caught on the sideline right in front of Jathan Show at the 29. Jathan, tell us about it.
Just a great catch there by Southeast of Saline. Chase Pogue there, just reaching out, going up where nobody else could get it, and did a nice cutback there. Just a great 13-yard pass there for Gebhardt to Pogue.
Chase has really come on in the receiving game here lately. Southeast to the 29. Here's Bryant Banks into the 2nd level. Linebacker, look out. The safety has to come up and help at the 18-yard line.
I don't think many teams have one guy that's capable of tackling Bryant Banks, and we continue to see that. I mean, again, he takes the contact, the guy's draped all over his legs, and he kind of just looks upfield. He's not even worried about the guy that he's dragging along.
12 yards on first down, brings up another first down. Once again, Southeast of Saline in the Can-Equip red zone. Can-Equip is your source for new and used Case IH ag equipment. In Salina, visit Can-Equip on South 9th Street. From the 18, Southeast of Saline, first down. Gebhardt fakes it to Banks. He's going to twist his way through the line of scrimmage in a bunch of traffic and make it to the 16-yard line. That will be a gain of 2.
Devin, you and I were talking unofficially before this drive started. I believe Banks was averaging 10 yards a carry.
More than that now.
Yep. So this is just, again, that's a consistent play. If you want it, I feel like on any given play, you can get a big enough hole to get Banks up the field for 8 yards.
From the 17-yard line, 2nd down and 9. Heavy on the left-hand side. Southeast of Saline gives it to Banks right at the middle. Runs into the back of Braxton Blake, and he's brought down at the 15-yard line. That is a gain of 3. We have to talk about here in Lindsborg and in McPherson County, there is a restriction to how many people can be in the stands and also in quote-unquote mass gatherings. So there is a restricted amount of people here tonight, but we do have a great video product for you on SalinaPost.com. Here's Gebhardt rolling out, 3rd down and 7. Tucks the ball, puts it away, dives for the pylon, and he's going to come up just short at the 1-yard line. A 16-yard run by Jackson Gebhardt, and Southeast of Saline is in business, 1st and goal.
I'll tell you what, I know we don't like doing it because it's kind of senseless to compare high school guys to NFL players, but when you watch Gebhardt, when he's rolling out and he sees space upfield, he does kind of have that Kyler Murray sense where he'll just take off and find some extra room.
1st and goal at the 1. They go back to Bryant Banks. Has to get rid Spread it 2 Vikings, 3 Vikings, 4 Vikings. Score. Bryant Banks in on the left-hand side. Running behind his buddies up there on the front of the offensive line. Helping him get in was Evan Nicholson. Also, Braxton Blake over there on the left-hand side. And Bryant Banks has his second touchdown of the night. This one from 1 yard away.
I mean, it's just too easy. You give him the football and you just let him go to work, and that's exactly what Banks does. He absorbed a lot of contact. Smoky Valley played that perfectly. They did exactly what they wanted to do. They came up, they plugged the hole, but, man, Bryant Banks just comes through and pops that cork.
Swinging gate once again here for Southeast of Saline, trying to extend their 14-0 lead. Banks will snap it back to Gebhardt. Already rolling to the right-hand side. Jackson's going to tuck this one away and get inside the pylon. Another 2 on the board. Southeast of Saline with 1:45 left to play in the first quarter. They lead at 16-0 right here on KINA.
Okay, Coach, thank you for your breakdown on your offense and defense. Now here's Winnell Garrettson, your real estate coach for buying and selling.
Hi, fans. It's Winnell Garrettson from SalinaHomes.com, and I'm here to coach you up in your real estate game plan. Now is a great time to list your house and or investment. Or if you're in the buying mood, I'd love to help you find just the right real estate opportunity for you. And as always, go Trojans.
Buy or sell, call Winnell at SalinaHomes.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Here's an update for you from Scott City. The Beavers of Scott City and the Eagles of Colby at the end of the first quarter scoreless. Here it's 16-0 Southeast of Saline over Smoky Valley after Brian Banks has scored his second touchdown of the night, his 7th of the season on the ground. Jude Golden ready to put in the air for the 3rd time tonight. End-over-end kick. This one a little bit deeper than the first 2. And it's going to drive Smoky Valley back to the 10-yard line. Here comes the return. Out to the 20, 25, and to the 27-yard line for the Vikings goes Justice Autry, a sophomore.
Well, and Smoky Valley comes onto the field, I wanted to talk a little bit about the district because we said we were going to know a lot more after tonight, but I think the 2 games that really speak the biggest volume to me, it's Scott City only getting a 1-point victory against this Smoky Valley team, and it's also Scott City only putting 22 points up on a Russell squad that Southeast of Saline came in and bulldozed. I think there's a real chance, Devin, that this Trojan football team is just on a different planet than the rest of this district.
Eddie McVeigh in there at corner. Eddie's been out for several weeks. Also Landon Allen in front of him at the linebacker spot. Here comes the give, and it goes to Shugren. He'll pile ahead and maybe get a yard. Court Shugren. I mean, he's been the biggest producer tonight for Smoky Valley. 4 carries, 10 yards.
Yeah, I mean, he's done what he can, but 1:24 left to go here in the first quarter. Still no first downs for Smoky Valley at this point in the game.
Nose of the football sitting at the 29-yard line. 2nd down and 9. Smoky Valley has crossed the 50 just barely one time here in this first quarter. Here's the give to the left-hand side and a punishing tackle by Southeast of Saline as they give the football that time to their tailback, Cade Blanchett, and Blanchett lost 3 yards.
And I don't know if that was read option or if that was a design run the whole way, but I'll tell you what, if that was read option, Jake Lucas just sacrificed his running back to the football gods back in the backfield. That was unfortunate for whoever was going to take that.
So now a 3rd down and 11 coming up here for Southeast of Saline's defense. Your defensive backs in there right now. A little bit of a unique mix. Murray's still in there. Chase Pogue looks like he stepped back to safety along with Luke Gebhardt. Jackson Gebhardt not in there right now. Eddie McVeigh over at the corner. Pogue is playing safety. Here comes Eli Harris, blindside blitz, chasing the quarterback. Also, Dalton Bunch in there, and a pass to the near side. Smoky Valley sideline will be incomplete, and Jake Lucas throwing the football 0 of 3, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I know Jackson Gebhardt is an amazing safety. I know his defensive contributions are huge, but how big is it with Eddie McVeigh back? You can give him some rest, and he can really be a little bit more effective on offense that way.
Also, the flexibility of Chase Pogue to play corner and safety there.
Most definitely.
So now we see Michael Murray, Jackson Gebhardt back here to receive this punt. It'll be the 4th punt of the night already for Smoky Valley. Forgot we doubled up there on that first drive, but as you said, Smoky Valley still has not attained a first down.
I mean, that punt that they recovered, that's their biggest positive play of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big chunky yardage. So Stambaugh is in there, injured enough that he cannot play offense, but out there to punt the football. And they're going to have a procedure penalty called against them. Well, Smoky Valley, that'll back them up 5 more yards and put them close to the 20-yard line for the line of scrimmage here at the 21.
Well, I'll tell you what, you mentioned the limited capacity. There's still a pretty decent crowd here on tap. Southeast, of course, traveling very well on the opposing sideline, but it's been a quiet crowd tonight. There hasn't been a whole lot to get excited about.
I'm excited.
I am too.
Because I hated sitting at home last Friday night.
Oh.
Here's a punt. It's going to take a bounce. Now goes right past Gebhardt. Jackson's going to turn around and chase it, but obviously did not touch it. He's going to let it roll, and it's going to go across the midfield's logo here to the 44-yard line. That'll leave just 7.7 seconds left here in the first quarter, and Southeast of Saline to run one play here before we end the opening period. As we said, a video product right now on Salina Post. You can see video of this game and also hear our audio, so you get 2 in 1. Very nice product. I want to thank Brian Dinner for that, helping us out from Eagle Communications, and a really nice job of us finally putting it all together and giving people that can't come out to the game an option to watch if they want to, but always we thank you for listening as well.
Absolutely. We do it all for you guys.
You hear a bunch of sponsors during the game. By the way, go spend money at their businesses because they help make this happen. Smoky Valley on defense here, trying to get lined up. We have a little bit of delay in action because the scoreboard just went out.
Well, that's not good.
Well, I mean,
half of it's been getting lit up so far.
Jathan, you're down 16-0. How do you stop it? You just shut the scoreboard off.
I guess go home then. They're calling a game already. If they get another touchdown here, it's just going to be dismal for Smoky Valley, and that's where Southeast Saline is just on a high right now on the offense side.
Little low snap coming here for Gebhardt. He picks it up at the knees, wants to take a shot, comes down the left-hand sideline. Murray goes up and just mosses the defensive back. Michael Murray up over a Viking. It's a block from Chase Pogue, and Michael Murray takes this one into the end zone. You might want to watch ESPN on Monday night because Michael Murray just might have made it. Holy cow, right in front of us, and that will end the quarter. Michael Murray climbs the purple ladder for Southeast of Saline and hauls in a huge touchdown pass.
Your Eagle TV might be on the radio right there with that catch, Devin. That guy was up above shoulders above that other guy's head, and just the way he went up high and grabbed it is just incredible, and the way he broke loose was even more fabulous, and getting the touchdowns icing on the cake.
There was one guy that might have been able to catch him. Chase Pogue took care of him. So what a block there by Chase Pogue, but Michael Murray just went crazy there on that touchdown reception of 54 yards. Gebhardt now rolling out, sidesteps the defender, tries to get into the end zone. He will not. But Southeast of Saline ends the first quarter with 6 points on the passing game. 22-0 at the end of one. We'll be back with the kick that will start the second quarter for Southeast of Saline. Trojans up 22-0. It's all brought to you by Will Electric in Salina right here on KINA.
Area athletes and even weekend warriors have a big home field advantage. Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic, working with athletes of every level to help prevent injuries or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. You can count on Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine to get you back in the game. Led by orthopedic surgeons Drs. Timothy Hawks and Travis Rump and sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists, Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine provides athletes with the highest quality, most timely care. At the school, on the field, or in our clinic, we're ready wherever and whenever you need us to help you get back in the game and keep you in the game. Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic. The home field advantage starts here. Visit us at salinaregionalsportsmedicine.com.
Work hard, play hard. Good luck, Trojans from Roselawn Memorial Park in Salina. To learn more, visit roselawnsalina.com.
Back here on the campus of Bethany College, we have flipped fields now, so Southeast of Saline will punt left to right as we view it from the home stands here at the stadium. 22-0, Southeast of Saline, and a kick from Jude Golden that will be fielded at the 20-yard line. Little fake reverse here as Hebel will keep it, and he has some space. Out to the 30, 35, 40. Michael Murray giving chases. Hebel breaks out into the open field, and Michael Murray will chase him down at the 40-yard line. Thank goodness for the wheels of Michael Murray making back-to-back plays there, scoring a touchdown, then saving a touchdown as Brant Hebel broke out on the fake reverse for Smoky Valley, brought it down the near sideline, and finally taken down by Michael Murray in Trojan territory at the 39.
Yeah, I saw Hebel hit the afterburners, and I thought he might have been gone, but Murray just has so much raw speed, and he turned into a track athlete getting down the field and making the stop. So now the offense, they got good field position. The special teams has really been the highlight for them so far. Let's see if they can put it all together here and maybe pick up their first down of the day.
Smoky Valley starting out their own 39-yard line. Stacked backfield once again. 3 running backs behind Lucas, the quarterback. They try to run it up the middle. No dice there. Jathan, you had a look from the opposite sideline at that Michael Murray catch. What'd you see?
Oh, I just saw an incredible catch and then talking over here to a couple of the coaches or the dads over here, he said he's almost has a school record at 40 inches on the a 40-inch vertical here for Michael Murray as a sophomore. And that's just incredible because he used it all right there to catch that pass.
Yeah, he did. That was an incredible play by Michael Murray.
And Devin used the word must. I think that's the best way you could. I mean, he's one of the few guys you can see going up and just taking it away. That probably should have been intercepted. That ball was a little bit underthrown, but Murray able to just go up and go get it.
Talk about high pointing the football. He was definitely able to do that, so kudos to the sophomore. And then he turned and just ran it in with the help of Chase Pogue on a block. Here's the left-hand side. Cade Blanchett runs it off of left guard, and he will end up at the 37-yard line on a gain of 2, and automatically Smoky Valley looking at another 3rd down and long.
Yeah, they just don't really have anything to change up. I mean, every time they try to move something or try to make an adjustment, Southeast of Saline corrects to it so quickly, and they haven't given up anything. I mean, again, Southeast is just completely ruining this offensive line for Smoky Valley.
The 36-yard line, it'll be 3rd down and along 7 for the Vikings. They do have good field position here, though, so maybe 2 downs to pick it up. 3 running backs in the backfield, no wide receivers. They do have a tight end to the right-hand side. Lucas turns, pitches it out to Hebel. Hebel with that speed. We just saw it on the kick return, but he will get to the line of scrimmage, stretching it out all the way to the right-hand side, and then no more before he is lassoed and tied up by Eli Harris.
I mean, we've seen this offense put like 4 different formations out there, and nothing has worked. They've tried splitting the receivers out to try to take away that outside contain. Didn't work. They tried bunching everybody in tight. They've tried misdirection. They've tried play action. Southeast of Saline just doing too much right now on defense. And now on 4th down, it looks like Smoky Valley might be keeping the offense out here and going for it. And at this point in the game, I feel like you almost have to. This has to be 4-down territory for the Vikes.
4th down and 7, ball at the 37-yard line. 1 wide receiver comes to the near side. That's Braxton House for Smoky Valley. Everybody else in tight. Hebel a slot back. Lucas wants to throw it. It's a little hook and ladder play. Hebel's going to be hung out to dry, though, as they just never got down the field with that play. All the trickeration is going to go all for naught. They got 3 yards on that.
I will say I do respect Smoky Valley for trying the hook and ladder. I mean, you gotta break something, and that was a good idea. But yeah, in practice, it just doesn't end up working out. It takes too much time to develop, and part of the reason why, once again, the ball gets thrown so slowly that Southeast has time to get bodies to the football, and at that point, you're just not going to be able to get much done.
Well, this Southeast defense, I think if there's any credit and any example of a play where they're the most effective, it's a play like that. If it takes any amount of time, you're going to have 3, 4, 5, 6 white jerseys there, and that's what Southeast did. Hebel turned, and he saw no lanes because everything was covered up. Here's Gebhardt now as the Trojans come back out on offense. He's going to tuck it, go to the left-hand side, gets a nice block from Matthew Rodriguez, and that will help Jackson Gebhardt string it out on Jathan's side of the field for a gain of 8.
Just a great block there by Matthew Rodriguez, letting Jackson Gebhardt get 8 more yards there on that carry. Just coming back there, blocking that last defender where he can get out bounds.
6 carries, 41 yards so far for Jackson Gebhardt. Bryant Banks off to a hot start tonight as well. 40-yard line, 2nd down and 3. Back to Banks. Shakes off a Smoky Valley Viking right at the point of attack, and then finally got some help as the Vikings come up from the second level with their linebacking core, and they hold Bryant to no gain.
I think it's the first time we've really seen Bryant Banks get stuffed tonight. The one time where they held him to a couple of yards, he still got into the end zone. But back to your point really quickly on the Smoky Valley offense, a lot of misdirection, and the problem with misdirection is that, like you said, it takes time to set up, and all that's doing is giving Southeast's big 3 a chance to push and the linebackers a chance to come in and clean up.
3rd down and a short 3 for Southeast of Saline. Football sitting at the 41. Gebhardt turns, gives it to Banks, sees a Viking, bounces outside to the left. Now a little shake and bake and a spin move, and Bryant Banks is going to advance this football to the 47-yard line, move the chains, another Southeast of Saline, 1st down. Gain of 6 on the play.
Yeah, just an impressive, that time Logan Sanders, the left tackle, he bounces off of his first guy that he blocked, and then he goes right back and gets the linebacker, and that allows the edge to be picked up by Bryant Banks. Everybody on this team has such a big role to play, and when all 11 of them play together like that on both sides of the ball, it's something special.
He's having a really good year at left tackle. And I'll tell you another kid, too, that's having a really good year coming in and playing about every position but center is Eli Jackson. He's in there right now at right tackle. They're going to go left, a little screen play to Pogue. Chase Pogue down the left-hand sideline, cuts it back. He's free to the 35, 30, 25, 15, and into the end zone. Chase Pogue. You want to get burnt down both left-hand sidelines, all we have to do is switch field, and you go the other way. 53 yards for Chase Pogue. He just got down the left-hand sideline and probably looking at his buddy Michael Murray going, hey, I'd earn all those. All you did was make a great catch.
I mean, again, it was too easy. And you get him in open space, he's not going to be able to take – he doesn't need a lot of time to figure out what path he wants to take to get to the end zone. You saw the safety came over a little too late. And to his credit, the safety was covering up a crossing route. I think that may have been some misdirection by Southeast of Saline because they drew him to the wrong side of the field, and now your deepest man isn't going to be in position.
Southeast going for 2 here. Traditional formation. A flag will fly before they get started, and a procedure penalty. 8:33 left to go, second quarter. It's been all Trojans so far. Chase Pogue, the latest to put his name into the scoring column on a 53-yard screen pass. Boy, that move he made back to the middle after the sideline. Guy had the angle. Chase just kind of tapped the brake and then went back to the middle.
Yeah, he's so good on those cuts.
Here's the 2-point conversion. Gebhardt rolling out. Now he's going to plant, look to the back of the end zone, and there he's going to find Tyler Breeding. Tyler doesn't have a touchdown this year, but he's got a basket full of 2-point conversions. He adds another one there, and with 8:33 left to go here in this second quarter, it's 30-0. Southeast of Saline. Back with more Trojan football, brought to you by Will Electric in Salina after this on KINA.
Don't let tight harvest windows and less than ideal conditions get you off track. Plan for a successful season with genuine Case IH solutions during the performance event going on now at Can Equip in Salina. Save instantly on superior maintenance protection and the latest harvest equipment upgrades from Case IH. Plus, find your precision farming fit with savings that'll fit your budget. Offers end September 30th, 2020. Contact Can Equip in Salina today. Your Red Zone sponsor. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Devin Haney, Tyler Henry, Jathan Show, Brian Dennett, Sam Pretty, a cast of, well, pretty much everybody we have in the office here.
This is the A-team, Devin. I love it when a plan comes together.
Chase Pogue, his third receiving touchdown of the season, a 53-yard touchdown catch. Took it down the left-hand sideline, the Southeast of Saline sideline. The visiting crowd got a look at number 4, making a great move on that far sideline, cutting it back and getting into the end zone. The athleticism and the speed on the edge, we talked about that from the beginning of the season. I think confidence right now is the difference between games number 1 and 2 and the last 2 that we've seen. There's a short kick by Jude Golden, bounces at the 25. Hebel will take it there, now up to the 30, 35, 40, and finally brought down at the 43-yard line by a host of Southeast of Saline players, including Evan Nicholson and Clayton Meyer.
Well, and again, just to put this in perspective, what Smoky Valley has done is a couple of Southeast of Saline guys slow to get up, but they're able to walk off the field. So the offense for Smoky Valley, we mentioned it before, has not put up a first down yet. The special teams unit has gotten a recovered punt for about 40 yards. They got a kickoff return for about 50 yards, and here they get a kickoff return for about, I don't know, maybe 30. So all of their yardage moving the ball on offense has come on special teams.
Good field position. Hebel will be split out to the left-hand side this time for a first down and 10 from the 44. Lucas out to pass, and the receiver taken down immediately by Chase Pogue. Actually, excuse me, that's Eddie McVeigh back in there on corner on the far side. That's going to be a gain of 5.
Nice to see Eddie get his tackle in there and wrap him up and not let loose and threw him down. Nice to see Eddie McVeigh back on the field. Give Jackson Gebhardt a break, along with others out there. That's a nice little switch out here with Eddie McVeigh back in the lineup.
Didn't see who that Smoky Valley receiver was. It was a gain of 5, brings up second down and 5. Nose of the football sitting at the 50-yard line. Smoky Valley now in a I formation with a tight end and a receiver to the right. Lucas, fullback belly option, pulls it out. Now he tries to look for space. Landon Allen, Matthew Rodriguez, Sterling Harpall there on the tackle. And ahead for 3 yards will bring up third and 2 for Smoky Valley.
Yeah, right now, the biggest thing that I'm seeing on these rushing attempts, Southeast of Saline's defensive line, they're just holding their guys right in front of them. They're not getting too much penetration, but they're also not getting pushed back at all. And when you try to move the ball like that, you're just not going to be able to find anything extra on offense, especially when your O-line can't get a push.
Third and a short 2 for the Vikings. So they've moved it into Trojan territory. The ball sitting just inside of the 48-yard line. Third down. First guy through, it's going to be Sugarin, and Sugarin, from his left guard spot to play fullback tonight, is going to tumble his way down to the 41-yard line. That's a gain of 7.
And there it is, the first down of the day for Smoky Valley on offense. The student section getting into it a little bit here.
Also the longest offensive play of the night for Smoky Valley, 7 yards.
Yeah, they're moving the ball. Let's see if they can turn this into a drive. You know, they get a little bit of momentum here. Southeast of Saline's defense, time for them to stand tall.
First down and 10 from the 41. Smoky Valley in those black jerseys, black helmets. 3 backs in the backfield. Rodriguez comes to crowd the line of scrimmage. They give it to Hebel, and he has to pay. Tyler Breeding, Matthew Rodriguez, Luke Gebhardt, all on the stop. No gain on the play.
Well, right now, I think the biggest thing that you're seeing early on, it looked like they were trying to hand the ball off 3-4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Right now, they're handing it off right at the line of scrimmage. You're seeing the quarterback take the snap and basically turn and either hand it off or keep it himself. But that's not allowing Southeast of Saline as much time, like we were talking about earlier, to set up their guys, get the hats to the football, and make those tackles in the backfield. So give some credit here to Smoky Valley for making an adjustment, but now Southeast of Saline can make their adjustment on defense, and that's usually where we see the little things stuffed.
Smoky Valley out of the huddle, play clock down to 5. 3 backs in the backfield. Lucas takes the snap, turns. He's going to give it to the tailback coming through. That's Cade Blanchett, and Blanchett was tackled by Michael Murray after a gain of 4 yards to the 35-yard line.
Yep, and again, they found a little bit of consistency here running the football, something they have not had up to this point. Also keep in mind, Southeast of Saline will be taking the opening kickoff of the second half, so they'll have plenty of opportunities here if they can come up with another stop to try to tack even more onto this. But right now, just trying to focus on slowing down Smoky Valley.
Blanchett, the third leading rusher on this team, 248 yards on the season coming in. Stambaugh was the leading rusher by about 11 yards over Jake Lucas coming into this game. Of course, he's not playing offense tonight. 3rd down and 4 for Smoky Valley. Lost track of the football there. I thought the quarterback still had it, although all our eyes kind of went to the guy busting through. And Sterling Harp's going to stop the quarterback behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 2 on that play. Back to the 37. What a play that was. Another tackle for loss for Sterling Harp. That is number 12 on the year.
Well, ironically enough, if they had handed it off, I think they get a first down out of that play. But, yeah, Sterling Harp basically just grabbed the center, ripped him to the left, and he had a hand on the quarterback about a split second after he received it.
Sterling gets up and points at the quarterback that had the ball that he just tackled and said, guys,
it's over here.
4th and 5, Smoky Valley going for it. Here comes Rodriguez on the blitz. They have to get rid of it the last minute, and Lucas never really had a chance. He turned to throw it. Looked like maybe a tackle-eligible play for Smoky Valley, but Rodriguez was already right there in the face mask of Lucas that time, and Jake Lucas threw it incomplete. And Smoky Valley will turn it over on down. Southeast of Saline's offense back onto the field.
Really quickly, I don't think he was eligible because I think he actually caught it and kind of threw it to the ground to avoid the penalty yardage. But, yeah, I think that was a situation where they had something set up, but it didn't even have time to materialize. And so they take the safe bet. They don't lose the yardage. And Southeast of Saline's going to take over with the nose of the football at that 37-yard line.
4:27 left to go here before halftime. We'll check in with Wayne Sager, see what's going on with everything SES. At halftime, we'll also have scores for you from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard and stats from the first half. Jackson Gebhardt in the shotgun formation. Gives it to Banks. Bryant sweeping out left-hand side. Gets by a Smoky Valley Viking would-be tackler and dives ahead to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on first down, bringing up 2nd and 4.
Devin, you've been covering this team for a long time. I just want to ask you, when you look at Michael Murray and Chase Pogue, are they 2 of probably the fastest 5 receivers this team has had in the last couple of years?
It's tough to say. The game evolves over time, but there's also been a lot of speed on this team.
Sure.
I mean, they've had some burners. So that's tough to say. I know when you talk about Michael, you probably got to look into his own family for his nearest competition. And Ben was fast, too. So.
Yeah, no, Ben was...
I think props to Aiden there.
Quite kick.
2nd down and 5. Here is the end around to Matthew Rodriguez. And Matthew still moving the pile. He had the first down, but then we see him get about 6 yards more. He's going to go all the way across the 50 to the 47-yard line, and that will be a gain of 10 yards for Matthew Rodriguez.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly been hitting the weight room. Matthew Rodriguez just keeps his feet under him. There's a sign on the Smoky Valley student section that says Southeast skips leg day. I don't know about that.
Yeah, probably an ill-advised sign. To the 47 in Viking territory. This clock still rolling at 3:20 left to go. 2 wide receivers to the right-hand side. It's Pogue in the slot, Breeding out wide. Gebhardt will run that way. He'll cut it up on the right-hand hash and then slide to a stop after an 8-yard gain.
And that's another thing that I really do like about Jackson Gebhardt. He knows when to give up. I mean, we see him sometimes on the sideline. He knows when to step out, and he also knows when to slide down and not sacrifice his body. He doesn't try to do that Ryan Fitzpatrick thing where he just lowers his helmet into somebody. So, again, it's really good to see him kind of conserving himself, and that's going to allow him to have some longevity this year.
Hey, just to let you guys know, Brian Banks is out here on the sideline getting looked at by the Salina Ortho person down here. Just to let you know, that's why Matthew Rodriguez is in.
So Rodriguez gets the fake this time from Gebhardt. Gebhardt will keep it, plunge ahead for a couple of yards to the 35.
Well, and we see Banks make cuts sometimes. That's the one big thing we've noticed about Matthew Rodriguez. The second he gets the ball, he's like a heat seeker. He's just looking upfield, not for some empty space, but for someone to go hit. And that's really kind of served him well when he's gotten carries for Southeast of Saline this year.
Southeast at the 35-yard line in Viking territory. The clock's still running, 2:19 left to go. Boy, if you're Southeast, you can score here with very little time left to go and then get the football start second half. Here's Gebhardt wanting to pass under some heat. A diving Viking's going to miss. Gebhardt now out of the pocket, tucks the football. Now he has it back out to the middle of the field. Here comes Jackson Gebhardt to the 25-20, stretching it out for the pylon, reaching the football out to the goal line, and he's going to walk it in from 35 yards away. Jackson Gebhardt, his first rushing touchdown of the night, and he is going to get into the end zone for the 8th time this season. I don't think any of them have looked as easy as that.
No, and again, you say it looked easy, but he was just smart about keeping his eyes upfield and seeing where the defenders were. He drew everybody to the left side of the field. He cuts it back, slices almost horizontally down the line, and then again, he just gets to the pylon. Great speed to beat the safety down the field, and now they're going to come out and look for the 2-point conversion, trying to go up 38-0 here.
Second touchdown in the quarter for Southeast of Saline. This one comes with 2 minutes remaining. Rodriguez in the backfield, the fake is to Matthew. Now they're going to give it to Chase Pogue, end around, following Sterling Harp, and into the end zone is Chase Pogue for the 2-point conversion. That's his second one of the night, and Southeast of Saline now has extended their lead to 38-0. 2 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Back with more Trojan football after this on KINA.
Life has changed. Our homes have been turned into daycare centers, schools, offices.
As life settles into a new routine, let us help.
Hi, it's Sarah
and Addison
with Mary Maids in Salina and Abilene. If you need help catching up on cleaning as your life starts to get back to normal, call us. We can clean your house top to bottom and even set you up for regular service.
Find Mary Maids of Salina and Abilene on Facebook or marymaids.com. Mary Maids, your trusted hometown maid service since 1979.
Mary Maids, relax, it's done.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
For the 8th time this season on the ground, Jackson Gebhardt has scored. Chase Pogue also piling points on tonight. Chase has 2 2-point conversions and a touchdown. And Southeast of Saline putting it on the Vikings of Smoky Valley, 38-0 with 2 minutes left to play here in the first half.
Well, and how about Chase Pogue on that last one? Usually he's the kind of guy that's going to use that burner speed to get to the pylon, but he just cut it right in between two defenders, put the shoulder down, and you don't usually see that at a Chase Pogue.
I'll tell you why, too, that I didn't see a lot of speed out of him. He was following Sterling Hart.
Yep.
He showed great patience in that. If you're going to follow anybody, I would get behind 77 as well. Sterling did a great job that time helping Chase Pogue score that 2-point conversion. Jude Golden on for another kick. He's going to kick this one away, angling a little bit to the right-hand hash. And it's going to be taken by Smoky Valley back at the 25-yard line. This is a return by Justice Autry, and he will be brought down at the 33.
Well, you mentioned it to me during the break. I don't know how aggressive they want to be here. Obviously, you've only got a minute 54 to go before you hit the halftime mark. But Southeast of Saline does have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. If they could get a quick stop and get the ball back, I wouldn't put it past them to take a shot or two at the end zone and try to double up going into the half.
Smoky Valley will start out here at their own 33-yard line. All timeouts remaining on both sides, Smoky Valley and Southeast of Saline. Smoky Valley comes out, 3 running backs, no wide receivers. Extended offensive line. Lucas turns, gives it to Hebel, and Hebel will be piled up after a 2-yard gain. The quarterback, Lucas, got hit late that time as Eli Harris gave him a pop, and now a late flag comes in. This will give Smoky Valley a free first down.
Yeah, that was very far away from the play. It was Harris, as you mentioned. And they're going to have a conference here, but more than likely this will be a free first down, as you said.
I believe we have a roughing the passer and a face mask calls here on Southeast of Saline.
Okay. So a 5-yard face mask on Southeast of Saline was declined, and then a personal foul roughing the passer for Eli Harris was accepted. This will get Smoky Valley ahead now to the 50-yard line, along with that 2-yard carry by Brant Hebel.
Yeah, and it hurts the field position for Southeast, but at the end of the day, they still have all 3 other timeouts, and that stops the clock. So, again, if they really want to go for something here, they've got a chance, but that does not help their cause.
That one play nets 17 yards for Smoky Valley. Knows the football now, sitting at the 50. Still not quite across the midfield stripe. Again, same formation, 3 running backs in the backfield behind quarterback Jake Lucas. Lucas, long snap count, turns, wants to roll out, wants to pass back to the near side. He's going to float this one over the head of Michael Murray, but also over the head of Brant Hebel, who came out of the backfield. Good defense that time by Michael Murray, and a pass incomplete. Lucas right now, 2 of 7. Throwing the football. Also keep in mind, we'll talk to Mitch Gebhardt on his way into the locker room at halftime. That on the field, courtesy of Jathan Show and also Waddell Garrettson.
Yeah, there just hasn't been a whole lot of efficiency in the passing game, not only this season, as we mentioned, but also tonight for this Vikings offense. So no time really comes off the clock there, just the amount of time the play took, and 2nd and 10 coming up here.
No wide receivers again for Smoky Valley. 3 backs in the backfield. Here's Lucas turning, giving it to Blanchett coming through, and Blanchett will have 2 yards. See who wants to stop the clock here. Somebody called a timeout. It'll be Southeast of Saline. Yeah. 7 yards by Cade Blanchett. Here so far in this first half of action, Southeast of Saline has just burned their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. 3rd down and 8 for Smoky Valley with 1:28 left to go here in this first half. And guys, this first half has been all Southeast of Saline. You often wonder when you have a game fall out of bed like the one did last Friday with Goodland, and then you come back and, I talked to multiple coaches today that they said it was just a weird week. We really didn't know what day it was. Monday we usually do review and game film and evaluations. We didn't have any of that to do. We had a game plan that we just put in that we didn't get to use. All of a sudden we're getting ready for a new team, and mentally, I think it messed with them a little bit. You can either be a little bit rusty or you can have a little bit of bounce in your step, and I think Southeast of Saline tonight is showing that week off. They're really using it as motivation, and Tyler also energy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I talked to Coach about that. I said, was it almost kind of a blessing in disguise to get, what some would consider to be like a bye week at this point? He said, look, we wanted to go out and play a football game on Friday, but at the same time, we had a couple of guys that were a little dinged up that are feeling a lot better heading into this week, and that's what you're seeing. And the other thing that I think goes unannounced, really, it's not just the skill guys. It's those linemen that have been playing so hard. They've been playing so physical all year. You give those guys a week to rest up and come back rejuvenated, and that makes all the difference. And we're seeing some crazy holes on the offensive end and on the defensive end. Same thing as always.
Yeah, absolutely. 3rd down and 8 here for Smoky Valley. Maybe 3rd down and 7. Ball sitting at the 48-yard line. They're going to try to run it straight up the gut, and it's going to be lost for about a yard. As Southeast of Saline will burn another timeout and stop this clock.
The clock's still running. I don't know.
They've been trying to stop it for.
I know. No, I'm aware. I'm aware that they called timeout on time. It's just that'll take several extra seconds off the clock.
Yeah, they're resetting it now, so Southeast will get that time back. Southeast will have 1 timeout remaining, and it'll be 4th down and 8 coming up here for the Smoky Valley offense. Be curious to see what Coach has to say about his team's effort. And really, outside of that roughing the passer penalty, they have played a pretty clean first half when you look in regards to penalties this year. Southeast of Saline averaging about 10 penalties per game. They've been nowhere near that pace here in the first half. Everything has just been pretty smooth, Jathan. So I'm curious to see what Coach Gebhardt has to say about this performance in the first half when he goes into the locker room. He has to be pretty happy, I would think.
I would think so, too. And would it be a football game without a personal foul with Southeast of Saline?
No.
Okay. I don't get one in there.
Well, it's the thing with basketball, too, and this may be kind of an apples to oranges type of deal, but if you have a team that plays fast and they play aggressive and they fast break a lot, you're going to have turnovers, too. I feel like that's the same way with football. If you have a team that's aggressive and they're physical, you're going to have penalties like that, too. You don't want to have a play where anybody goes without contact, and that's what Southeast does. They put contact on everybody. Some of it may be viewed as a little late or a little rough by the officiating crew, as we had in Colby. That's another great example. Here's a good punt. Stanberg had to pick it up off the ground. Gebhardt all the way back, curls his way to the 5 to field this one. He's trying to save field position. He's going to tiptoe out of bounds at the 10. So he saved that one from getting pinned back on the goal line. Still 69 seconds for Southeast of Saline to do some work here, but they have to go 90 yards with one timeout.
Yeah, and honestly, like I said, I think at this point you've got a couple of options. If you're not interested in trying to take a shot, you don't have to. But, I mean, when you've got Michael Murray and Chase Pogue, I feel like you run one of them on a vertical route, you run the other on a deep post route, and you just let one of them get open and do their thing.
So far tonight, Gebhardt throwing the football 4 out of 5. He has passes that are complete of 7, 14, 54, and 53. Half of his completions have been touchdowns. Rodriguez still in there. Left hip of Gebhardt. They're going to flank it out left-hand side on a screen to Pogue. Pogue will surge ahead for about 3 yards. And that clock will continue to run now under a minute.
Yeah, I don't hate the play call. I mean, you give the ball to Chase Pogue in the open space, and you hope that you can, maybe split a lane out for him. But we'll see what they want to go with here. Tyler Breeding, the other guy that hasn't really had a big breakout play, and I feel like he's due.
And it's single coverage over here on this near side, the Smoky Valley side, with Breeding and Pogue both. Gebhardt rolling out that way, being chased by a couple of Vikings. He tries to get the corner on one, and he's going to be throwing the football away over here as he had Tristan Stanberg, who is playing defense and punting, not playing offense tonight. Not really sure what his injury concerns were, but they're holding him out of offense, even though he is the team's leading rusher by just a few yards. And he was able to drag Gebhardt down there, and an incompletion for Jackson Gebhardt.
And the incompletion stops the clock with about 38 seconds left. So now you're in a position where if Southeast doesn't pick this up, if you're Smoky Valley, you can call a timeout and maybe get the ball back in decent field position, take a shot of your own.
38.1 to be exact. Breeding, Pogue, Harris all come near side. Far side, Michael Murray. Gebhardt's going to step up. He's going to run. Murray lays a block. Gebhardt will get behind that block and then got to tiptoe his way out of bounds as he crosses the 35 and gets to the 36-yard line. That was a lightning quick pickup of 23 yards for Jackson Gebhardt.
Yep, that was exactly what Southeast of Saline wanted. Again, down the sideline, they were able to utilize Gebhardt's speed, utilize his versatility, and you get out of bounds and stop the clock with 30 seconds left. And now I think is when you start looking a little bit deeper downfield if you're Southeast of Saline.
80 yards rushing for Jackson Gebhardt. Football sitting at the 36-yard line. Still a timeout left here for Southeast of Saline. Breeding a solo now to the right-hand side. Pogue and Murray to the left. Rodriguez and Harris staying in right now as blockers, as it seems. Now Harris is going to release. Little pump fake by Gebhardt. Wants to go deep down the left-hand sideline. There's a flag on the play. Still making the catch is Chase Pogue, and he's going to go into the end zone. All the way to the end zone. That is Michael Murray that time. They were both on the left-hand side, and it was Michael Murray that came all the way down the sideline and made one move. There's a flag in the middle of the field, but Tyler, I think we see that as a defensive holding.
Yeah, they definitely grabbed him as he was trying to run, and I feel like this has almost got to be against this Smoky Valley team. Jathan, that was kind of right in front of you, though. What'd you see?
Yeah, I called out holding right as soon as the flag was thrown, and just a holding there on Smoky Valley. Penalties will be declined, so it's going to be good for a Southeast Saline touchdown.
64 yards as Michael Murray scores for the second time tonight. He has 2 catches, and he's over 100 yards.
And that is a Randy Moss stat line.
Holy cow. Well, we said it. When you have weapons like that on the outside and you're rolling, why not just keep it rolling as before you head into the locker room and get one more. Those 2 catches tallying 128 yards right now for Michael Murray. Here's the give to Rodriguez, and Matthews going to go straight up the gut and score 2 more. They're going to add on 8 here right before the half with 19.2 seconds left to go before halftime. We'll conclude the first half after this on KINA.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Led by orthopedic surgeons Drs. Timothy Hawks and Travis Rump and sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists, we are ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
3 first-half passing touchdowns for Jackson Gebhardt. He has now equaled his total from 2019 with 8 passing touchdowns a year ago. Jackson came into this game with 5-3 here in the first half, gives him 8, equaling his total from a year ago. And he has had his guys on the outside helping him with Chase Pogue and Michael Murray here tonight. I apologize to Michael Murray. I thought that was Chase Pogue coming out there as he came out on that left-hand side. I had visions again of number 4 rolling down, but it was number 9 that time rolling down the sideline. Here's Jude Golden. They might have to ice his kicking leg at the break. Pop-up kick. Smoky Valley's going to field it, and then Landon Allen and Clayton Meyer will make the stop right there at the 36.
Well, to be fair to you, Devin, it's just a white streak going down the sideline. From up here, it's kind of hard to see what anything is when he's moving that quick. Tell him maybe slow down a little bit, and he'll get the better call.
128 yards on 2 receptions. Michael Murray. 15 seconds left to play. It's 46-0. Southeast of Saline. The Trojans came in here tonight, guys, and they are not messing around. One play left here, most likely, for the Vikings. 3 running backs, no wide receivers again. They run it straight up the gut to Shugren, and that will be the end of the half unless somebody calls timeout here. 46-0 will be our halftime score, it appears, as we await a conversation on the field with Mitch Gebhardt. And I think, Tyler, as we wait on Coach, again, outside of a couple of penalties here and there, if you really want to nitpick, this has been a pretty good game. Great protection in the passing game. Jackson's been able to move around, get some balls downfield, but just making plays right now on offense.
Well, and this is the second time this year that they've been at 46 points going into the half. They did the same thing against Russell. Now they're doing it against Smoky Valley. So twice this season they've been at this point. It's just insane, the efficiency of this offense, and they are putting on an absolute clinic going into the half.
Waiting the arrival of Mitch Gebhardt. Down there on the field. Jathan, whenever you're ready, holler. I lost track of you there.
I think he wants to talk to the referees a little bit here. Then I'll get with them.
Well, it might be a, hey, what are we doing with the clock when we come out of the locker room here type of conversation.
Well, and that's the other thing, too. You want to talk about potentially some more rest after a week of rest for Southeast. We saw them put the JV guys in at this point against Russell. So, we may not see a lot of those big first-team guys back out there again.
Jathan, you're kind of in the middle of a conversation there. I'll wait on you as Coach Gebhardt still kind of going or waiting to talk to somebody. I'm not sure what's going on there, but here you go. Take it away.
Hey, down here with Coach Gebhardt here. Just a great first half here, having a week off. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like our kids came out ready to play a football game, and they've done a good job both on offense and on defense and special teams for the most part.
And you guys are doing just everything really well here. The passing game is really well, and just everything's clicking really well. Having those 2 weeks off kind of gave you a little break there.
Well, it did. We would rather play a football game, and that's what we do as football players and football coaches and stuff. We'd much rather play the game, but we didn't. And obviously our kids got themselves ready for a football game tonight.
And that's just wonderful to see how they came out just ready to play. Never know the last day might get a chance to play, and here they're ready to play, and hope you have a good second half.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to them a little bit here, and hopefully we can keep them rolling here.
All right, good luck. Thank you. Back to you, Devin.
Thank you very much, Jathan, on the field with Coach Gebhardt. Southeast of Saline goes into the locker room up 46-0 here at the break. When we come back, we'll check some scores on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. I'll also give you stats from the first half, but we will also have a chance, I hope, to check in with Wayne Sager. We'll do that when we come back. The halftime is here. It's brought to you by Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. 46-0. Trojans lead it here on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
One call will do it all. With Will, there's a way.
If you stand in front of your electrical panel and you see the old type screw-in fuses or breakers that haven't even been made since the 1950s, maybe it's time you give Will Electric a call and let me come out and give you an estimate to update your electrical service. Call Will Electric, 823-8286.
One call will do it all. With Will, there's a way.
Don't get caught on empty. Fill up on all your basic needs at Assaria Oil and Hardware. We want to be sure all our Trojans are fueled up for the big game. Whether you're on the field or in the stands, start with a full tank of gas for your car or your belly. Get your favorite pizza and snacks to have enough stamina to get that Trojan win. Assaria Oil and Hardware, located in Assaria at the corner of Center and Main. We'll fill you up.
Okay, Coach, thank you for your breakdown on your offense and defense. Now here's Winnell Garrettson, your real estate coach for buying and selling.
Hi, fans. It's Winnell Garrettson from SalinaHomes.com, and I'm here to coach you up in your real estate game plan. Now is a great time to list your house, land, or investment. Or if you're in the buying mood, I'd love to help you find just the right real estate opportunity for you. And as always, go Trojans.
Buy or sell, call Winnell at SalinaHomes.com.
This is the Trojan Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap, stats, interviews, and a look at other area games. Let's head back to the stadium for Trojan Halftime on KINA.
Back here on the campus of Bethany College, Devin Haney along with Tyler Henry in the booth putting everything together for the next segment, 46-0 southeast of Saline. Right now, though, it's time for our friends Jathan Show and Wayne Sager on the field. Take it away, guys.
Yeah, down there on the turf, just getting a feel for it, and just has like a carpet feel down here. But just down here with Wayne Sager talking about what went on here at Southeast Saline last week.
Oh, we've had a pretty good week. Our cross country groups still ranked 1 or 2, depending on who you're looking at. Cross country is going to we're going to host our regional, and that's in not tomorrow, but the following Saturday. Cross country doing well, and then our volleyball is going to be at the Smoky Valley Regional, except in volleyball they call it a sub-state, so it'll be Smoky Valley sub-state, and that'll take place that Saturday, October 24th also. Junior high's wrapping things up. They've football and finished yesterday, and then the junior high volleyball has their league tournament this tomorrow up at Beloit. And then it's different, but we're starting basketball coming up on Monday with our junior high kids. So the seasons are still rolling, and we're looking forward to keeping things moving.
And that's just been a topic this week with a lot of other people and talk around this the community, where it's just nice to have them out there, be able to play. And we thought week 4 would be about the stopping week for all this if everything started going out, but Southeast Saline and all the schools have done a nice job with handling the adversity and just with a different atmosphere how things are this year.
Right. It has been challenging. You see spots all around the state where, we didn't get a play last week because of the COVID. But we feel fortunate to be this far, and if there was any wood out here, I'd be knocking on wood, but we want to get our teams moving forward. Cross country, like I say, is highly ranked. Our football team, again, depending on who you're looking at, we're in the top 4 or 5 of the rankings also. So we want to do all the things we can to try to make sure our kids have the opportunity to compete. And like you said, a lot of people thought week 4 would be about it. We feel very good to keep that going, and we're very hopeful that we can continue with this.
Just so what junior varsity also finished up this past Monday with a good win against Abilene, 24-8, and just exciting to see how even the younger class here for the football side is really doing well. And junior high did such a great job as well. Just lost their first game last Thursday. I don't know about last night's, but football program they lost as well against the Beloit. But just a great uptick here for Southeast Saline football for a couple years and more to come.
Right. The JV went, I believe, undefeated, but the junior high was undefeated up until the end of the year here, and then the A team got a hard-fought loss last night. Our junior varsity, we were going to have a game with Republic County, but we were just talking COVID a little bit. We had to cancel that game for COVID concerns at Republic County. So our high school junior varsity teams are done, and the game on Monday is canceled, and we won't make an attempt to try to reschedule that or fill that with anybody. So our JV kids, when you look at the score here, maybe Coach Gebhardt can get them some time out here on the field tonight and call it good for our junior varsity.
Is there anything else going on at Southeast Saline activities outside of sports-wise?
Oh, there's always things going on outside of sports at Southeast, just like every other school. With some of the interesting things that are going on, we're going to try a virtual musical this year. See how that goes. I know Mrs. Bully's got plans for doing the virtual musical. Looking forward to that. Mr. Kiesling at the band is already sent out some Facebook concert posts. He's done it that way. We've had to make a lot of adjustments, but it's been amazing what our teachers, faculty, and even the kids are coming up with to still make it a very, very high quality year. And I think as we go forward, we're gonna learn a lot of things from this. Don't enjoy this at all, but we're gonna learn a lot of things from this, and maybe we can improve things as we move forward. And some of that may be attributed to some of the things we're trying to do this year.
And I totally agree. That's where change is never the easy thing, but when you have to change, it always makes you stretch. It makes you try new things out and just experimental. And that's where having a virtual musical will be pretty neat. We'll be able to watch it, and but also with the band and orchestra, just vocal is that's a pretty neat way to allow students to participate, still show what they're doing in school.
Right. We have an NHS induction ceremony for our kids going into National Honor Society, and that's this coming Tuesday. But we're going to have our Madrigals, our high school singing group. The Madrigals have recorded their part of that, and we're going to be playing that in our theater. So rather than have them come and go through the challenges there, they've got to record it, and we have a nice theater that we'll be able to play some of those things in. So just a lot of different things going on. It's fun to see the I guess the creativity of our faculty and our kids.
And that's just wonderful to see. And we'll let you get back to the concession stand there. It's almost a few more steps over there.
I'm headed. Go on the concession stand.
We got some hot chocolate. My hand's a little chilly, but that's all right. First ball game here. Devin, we'll get it back to you up there in the press box, the cathedral.
All right, yeah. Thank you very much, Jathan, and also Wayne Sager on the field. That's brought to you by 1L Garrettson. Remember, buy or sell, call 1L, SalinaHomes.com. 46-0, our score here at the break. Southeast of Saline, a very good first half, and they are in control of this one. When we come back, scores from the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Tyler's been compiling all of those, and then stats from the first half. We are at halftime, brought to you by Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, right here on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top-quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the southeast of Saline Trojans.
Home matters. That's why at Kansas Wesleyan, we've offered new scholarships designed to help you get a great education right here in Salina. The Saline County Scholarship is a $70,000 award for any new undergraduate student who resides in or comes from a school in Saline County. There's also the Ad Astra Scholarship, a $60,000 award for any new students who are Kansas residents. For more information, please visit
Suburban Appliance Center is your official dealer for Traeger grills. Check out this 6-in-1 versatile unit that grills, bakes, smokes, roasts, braises, and barbecues. Suburban is your exclusive dealer for the Traeger Timberline series, and they have your Traeger spices too. Suburban Appliance Center, they are locally owned and they offer appliance brands like Amana, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and of course Maytag. Suburban also offers exceptional service. Suburban Appliance Center, 1900 South 9th.
Hi, this is Amanda with Accessible Home Care. Accessible Home Care is proud to be your locally owned Central Kansas Home Health Agency. We are proudly serving patients within 100 miles of Salina from our Salina, Junction City, and Minneapolis offices. Whether it be skilled nursing or therapy needs or helping our patients patients with day-to-day tasks. Call us today to learn more about how our services can keep you or your loved ones healthy at home. Check out our website at accessiblehc.com. Accessible Home Care, where our communities are our priority.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football on KINA.
Back here on the campus of Bethany College, Devin Haney along with Tyler Henry. Jathan Show on the field. Big Sam Pretty back at studio. 46-0 Southeast of Saline up here at the break. And time now for a check of the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. And Jathan, Tyler, you got some big scores to pass along. There's some big games going on tonight.
There are a lot of great games going on tonight. Let's start with Minneapolis and Beloit. The Trojans of Beloit up 20-7 in that one. Keeping it with some local schools. Salina Central up at the half, 12-0 on Goddard. Their crosstown rivals also doing well. Salina South leading Newton 21-7 at the half. Taking it to some smaller schools. El Saline trailing Smith Center at the half, 20-0. And it has not been a great night for smaller schools around the area. Sacred Heart trails Oakley 21-0 at the half. Solomon, who got off to that 4-0 start, lost to Bennington last week. They trail Canton Galva 38-0 at the half. Chapman up 16-0 on Council Grove. Abilene down 34-0 to Augusta. A game that, doesn't really have any implications for Southeast of Saline, but it's a good one. Silver Lake and Rossville, 26-21 at the half. That game is awfully good. Taking a look at some district scores. Goodland and Russell. So far, it has been all Goodland, 27-8 for them. Colby and Scott City, a game you and I are keeping a close eye on. Right now at the half, Scott City up 14-0 on the Eagles from Colby. And some bonus scores for you, Devin Haney. Taking a look at the top 5 teams in 3A. According to K-Prep, Southeast of Saline, of course, up right now. Number 1 team in the state in 3A, Andale, up 20-7 on Clearwater. The number 5 team in the state, Cheney, up 35-6 on Nickerson. But here's the kicker. Teams number 2 and 3 are playing against each other. Topeka Hayden and Perry Lecompton in a defensive gridlock right now. 0-0 at the half. And Devin, the question becomes, if one of them beats the other, is Southeast of Saline almost guaranteed to move up this week, assuming they hold on here?
Boy, I wouldn't think so. Both those teams are really good. Topeka Hayden this year has played teams like Manhattan. They're just kind of all over the place there where they pretty much do whatever they want. And Perry Lecompton was in the state title game last year against Andale. They come in ranked second behind Andale this year. So I wouldn't think so. I would think that those top 3 are probably the top 3, and then you go for Southeast and whoever may fill that 5 spot. Right now it's Cheney, as you said. But, boy, Southeast of Saline doing everything they have to do here tonight to cruise on into a big, big game with Scott City next week. If Scott City hangs on, as you said, they're up 14-0 over Colby right now. Scott City comes in off of a victory. That will be for the outright district championship next week at home at Steve Fritz Field. That'll be a huge game. Whoever wins will get the trophy, and missing games, not missing games won't matter next week if Scott City wins and Southeast of Saline continues on the path that they're on here tonight. When we come back, let's do 90 seconds. We'll be back after this break. Stats from the first half and the third quarter kick after this here on KINA.
Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knopf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knopf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
At home or on the road, K4 Garage will keep you moving. With over 12 years of mechanic experience, owner Nick Trout will diagnose and repair your engine to keep you in the game. Full service gas, diesel, or tires. K4 Garage also has a fully stocked convenience store with snacks and drinks. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 6, Saturday from 9 until 3. Trust K4 Garage with keeping you on the road. And if it has oil, they can change it at K4 Garage in Gypsum.
Exit 14 Restaurant in Gypsum, Kansas is cooking up something amazing today. Whether you want to order from our menu or try one of our delicious daily specials, Exit 14 adding a salad bar to their mix. Try one of the scrumptious desserts. Exit 14 is open for lunch Tuesday through Saturday and dinner Thursday through Saturday. Head out to try Prime Rib Night last Saturday of the month and open for Chicken Dinner Day on the first Sunday of the month. Exit 14, 512 Maple, Gypsum, Kansas. Good food, good people, great time.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Just about ready to go here. Third quarter action, 46-0 southeast of Saline. Really all you need to know about first half stats. Smoky Valley, 27 yards rushing, 8 yards passing, a total of 35 yards. Southeast of Saline, meanwhile, 168 yards rushing behind the two-headed attack of Bryant Banks and Jackson Gebhardt. 195 yards passing, a total of 363 yards in the first half for southeast of Saline. Smoky Valley has it all teed up. And the ball laying right now sideways as it fell off the tee. And the Vikings will come back and fix that as we are just about ready to go here for the third quarter. Back deep will be Michael Murray and Chase Pogue. I don't know if I really need to come to you, Tyler, for the new Image Audio keys to success in the second half. I think it's just keep the pedal on the floor.
Just don't be the Atlanta Falcons, and I think you're fine.
Here is a kick by Smoky Valley. Good end-over-end kick taken by Michael Murray back at the 5-yard line. Here he comes to the right-hand side, now cuts it back to the middle, runs into two Vikings, and he will go down at the 24-yard line. That's where southeast of Saline will start the third quarter. Jathan, your thoughts from the sideline as we get ready to start second half?
Oh, it's just going to be nice. That win sure did pick up, like you mentioned in the first pregame. That win sure did pick up from the south quite a bit, and going against the win here, the opening drive for southeast of Saline with Matthew Rodriguez in the backfield. To see how Southeast Saline handled this halftime adjustment here.
Should be about 20. Go ahead.
Not much of an adjustment, though.
Yeah, should be about 20 miles an hour by the time we get done with this game. It's actually going to pick up through the night and be windy tomorrow, about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Here's a give to Chase Pogue on the in around, little jet sweep to the left. Chase is going to fall ahead for 12 yards after getting hit once he was 10 yards into the carry, and that football will be placed down at the 36-yard line. Good first carry there by southeast of Saline. That is Chase Pogue's first rush of the night on the offense. He has a couple that he's ran in from two-point conversion land. Smoky Valley hopping around here on defense, trying to make adjustments. Tyler Breeding flanks out as receiver to the right-hand side. Here's the snap. Back to Gebhardt. He hands off to Rodriguez. Matthew will work his way to the left-hand side and be brought down at the 40 for a gain of 4.
Well, Devin, another factor we like to let everybody at home know about, since a lot of people don't have access to the scoreboard, but southeast of Saline up 46-0 here. This should be running clock for the entirety of the second half, unless this Smoky Valley team can put some points on the board here. So we could be in for a very quick second half.
Again, if you're listening to KINA, we also have a video product right now on SalinaPost.com. You can view this game in a live stream real time. Here's Gebhardt. Goes off to the left-hand side. Now a little stutter step, and a flag comes from that far sideline. We'll defer to our friend on the Salina Ortho sidelines with Jathan Show.
Just got a holding call, looks like, here. Preliminary, couldn't quite see it. But that's where, even if Smoky Valley does score, it's going to be running clock continues to the second half.
Oh, you're correct. I kind of forgot about the Kansas rule on that, but yeah, you're right.
Heard the wind in your microphone for the first time there tonight, Jathan. I bet it's a little chilly down there.
And the wind in my hands.
Did you get that cup of cocoa you were hoping for?
I was talking to Seger.
A penalty for southeast of Saline. That'll back him up to the 29-yard line. Here's the play now to the left. Gebhardt looking for some space, and now he's going to slide down at the 25 for a loss of 4. So all of a sudden now, after a couple of plays moving forward, southeast of Saline with a penalty and a negative play here to take a step backwards.
Yeah, and, there is something to be said. I realize that obviously, Coach Gephardt's telling him at halftime, don't let off the gas or anything like that. But, it's hard to come out and play with the same amount of motivation that you had in the first half when you're up 46-0. You feel like a lot of the work's already been done, and, they can kind of put it in cruise control a little bit here.
3 wide receivers to the right-hand side. Gebhardt, a little token shoulder fake. Now he's going to tuck it and run off the left-hand side, 40, 50. Now back to the middle of the field, looking for that right-hand hash, and then goes to a knee at the 46-yard line. Bit off all he could chew, and then steps down at the 46-yard line without even getting hit. It's a gain of 29 and a first down for the Trojans.
Well, he said he bit off all he could chew. I think a lot of quarterbacks in this league would choke on that, but Gebhardt able to make something of it. Again, tiptoes down the sideline, cuts it back in, and then slides down to preserve his body. Another great play by the Southeast signal caller.
And that'll prompt a timeout by Smoky Valley. We will take it as well. Southeast of Saline with the 1st and 10 when we come back. Trojans lead it 46-0, and it's brought to you by Will Electric in Salina right here on KINA.
The Appliance Center. It's where you go to shop for washers, dryers, kitchen appliances, furniture, pellet grills, TVs, and so much more. If you are looking for a local, family-owned business, visit the Appliance Center. We're in the big red and white building on South Broadway in Salina. Come experience the Appliance Center difference.
Roselawn Memorial Park would like to send best wishes to the Southeast of Saline football team. Go get 'em Trojans. For the services they offer, visit roselawsalina.com.
Back here at the combo field between Bethany College and Smoky Valley's Vikings. Devin Haney along with Tyler Henry, Jathan Show, Brian Dennett. Next week we'll be back at home at the friendly confines of Steve Fritz Field. And when you look at scheduling, the game last week with Goodland, almost some people say, oh, we lost a home game, but kind of got a home game at the front end of the schedule with Minneapolis not having their field done coming to the home stadium. And, of course, everything will flip next year. But can't look at that right now. It's 2020, and the windshield is southeast of Saline. Once again, has another very good football squad, and they're looking to go to 6-0 here with a victory tonight. Right now, they have the football at midfield, first down and 10, waiting on the Vikings to get out of a timeout with 8:25 left to go. We're just underway here on the first drive of the third quarter.
Yep, and again, I mean, I mentioned the Southeast might have it in cruise control, but they're not letting off just yet. I mean, you saw a big play out of them already. They want to drive and continue scoring some points here, keep that offense sharp heading into next week's big game.
From the 46, first down, Gebhardt throws a screen out to Breeding. Breeding 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, gets a big block from Eli Harris. Now Tyler turns it upfield, stays in bounds at the 30, still working his way down the sideline. He's going to be ran out of bounds at the 19-yard line. All the way down to the can-equip red zone goes Tyler Breeding. It's a gain of 27 to the 19.
Well, Devin, I mentioned Tyler Breeding, one of the only guys who hadn't gotten in on the fun yet, and, well, he's able to work it down the field. I wonder if he was going to slip one more tackle and maybe head to the end zone, but he may have to wait on that.
Tyler had the first catch of the game, a 7-yard reception. That one goes for 27. Now 2 catches for 34 yards. Pogue in motion. He'll take the handoff. Looking to jet sweep left-hand side. Couple of blockers out in front of him, and he couldn't get through as one of the linebackers for Smoky Valley takes Chase Pogue down for no gain. Justin Holt on the tackle that time for the Vikings.
Yeah, it's a good play. I mean, that's the one thing that you do run into if you're waiting for that block to develop in front of you. You've got pressure coming from the backside, and that time they were able to catch up to him, but not really a huge setback here, just a yard lost on the play, and Southeast of Saline can get back to work.
Second down and 10. Maybe lost a half a yard on that play. Rodriguez in the backfield looking to block. Gebhardt throws a pass out to Breeding. One guy to beat. Breeding with a spin move. Now the safety's in front of him. Inside the 10, inside the 5. Still crawling towards the end zone. Tyler Breeding trying to score, and he's going to take it to the 1. Boy, what an effort by double 4 that time as Tyler Breeding looked like he was going to do anything he could to score his first touchdown of the year.
Well, it's even harder at the high school level because if anything really hits the ground, they're going to call you down. But yeah, just an excellent job keeping his composure, keeping himself under control, and fighting off guys the entire way. And now SES right on the goal line.
2 20-yard-plus receptions for Tyler Breeding. First down and goal for the Trojans. They go right back to him, and Tyler Breeding will score. His first touchdown of the year. He has been the most popular receiver as far as quantity of catches for Jackson Gebhardt, but he hasn't scored. As I said in the first half, he has a bushel basket full of 2-point conversions, but that will be touchdown number 1 for the senior wideout, Tyler Breeding.
Well, they might go to him for the 2-point conversion here. I mean, they've got plenty of options.
You almost wonder if somebody calling plays that time on the southeast sideline knew Tyler Breeding hadn't had a touchdown yet.
Man, that was a perfect time to get it to him, especially with the momentum off that last play. Actually, Southeast of Saline going to set up for an extra point here. Jude Golden going to try the first of the year.
They have not attempted one yet this season. Gebhardt will be the holder. Gebhardt also the long snapper. That's Luke. And the extra point is up and good. Jude Golden, 1 for 1. It's 100%. And another 7 points on the board. Southeast of Saline takes the lead, 50-0. 5:50 left to go here in the third. Trojan football live from Lindsborg, brought to you by Will Electric in Salina.
We can all agree there's been a lot of changes going on these past few months, and one change we're really happy about is opening home Buick GMC in Salina. We're sure glad to be a part of this great community and the area. And now that things are starting to return to normal, we're really glad to be stocked deep with lots of new Buicks and great GMC trucks. For the folks here in Salina and all of Central Kansas, it's always easier and more fun to buy at home with the right price right up front. We're professional grade, and we invite you to come to home Buick GMC in Salina. You'll be glad you did.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Tyler Breeding scores his first receiving touchdown of the year. Jackson Gebhardt, his 4th passing touchdown of the game, his 9th of the season. And Southeast of Saline goes down the field to score 7 after Jude Golden kicks his first extra point of the year. He is now 1 of 1, and Southeast of Saline is up 53-0. Golden now with his arm in the air, and he's going to angle it off to the right-hand side. And this ball will bounce, maybe stay in bounds. And they're going to say it already went out of bounds as a Southeast player came screaming in. That was Landon Allen. And Smoky Valley will get this football starting out on this drive, their first drive of the third quarter at their own 35.
Yeah, and really for Smoky Valley at this point, you're just trying to play for a little bit of momentum, something to get yourself going next week. As we'll tack the penalty yardage on here.
Just a placement foul. They're at the 35.
It's been a weird year for Smoky Valley. I mean, they started off so flat. In 3 of their first 4 games, they failed to put a single point on the board. Then they kind of figured it out and got a couple of big wins, but they've really kind of started to fall apart here at the tail end of the season.
Braxton Blake, Evan Nicholson, also Eli Jackson in there playing defensive line for Southeast of Saline. Here's a big hit coming in from the second level. And for Southeast of Saline, we're going to start seeing some guys here go through this lineup. That's Caden Jackson. Caden played quite a bit against Russell on the road trip going out to Bronco Land. Boy, we really liked him out there, and he came in and laid a big hit that time after a 2-yard gain for Smoky Valley.
Yeah, and this is where I think we're really going to start to separate the guys that just had a good game from the guys that are going to be really good players for Southeast of Saline going forward, because you're going to see a lot of those younger guys starting to get some developmental time here.
Clayton Meyer out there along with Landon Allen. Also Eli Harris still out there. The secondary also still intact, including Eddie McVeigh, who's fresh off injury tonight. And what a hit by Eddie McVeigh. It looked like quarterback Jack Lucas that time for the Vikings was going to have a lot of space to the right-hand side, and Eddie McVeigh came in and limited that to a 2-yard gain. What a hit there.
Yeah, he came through like a missile that time, kept his pad level low, did a good job going right at the legs, and he was able to drive him backwards. So not a lot of forward progress, and, well, that'll set up a 3rd down and 6.
3rd down and 6 from the 39-yard line. 4:45 left to go here in the third. Southeast of Saline up 53-0. Lucas with 3 backs in the backfield, no wide receivers once again. This has been one of the popular formations for Smoky Valley tonight. They run it straight ahead to Shugren, and that'll bring up 4th down as he comes up 2 yards shy, moving the sticks. Gain of 3 for Court Shugren.
And it looks like, we'll see if they bring the punting unit on or if they're just going to keep the offense out there. Again, it's all kind of a wash at this point. You're not going to be able to come back down this much, especially now with the running clock in full effect. So the offense stays on the field here, looking to pick up a few yards.
4th and about 1.5 yards. They need to break the 45-yard line to get the 1st down. Those 3 backs still in the backfield. Lucas will turn, give it to Blanchett, and Blanchett tackled by Isaacson and also Chase Pogue. Gets the 1st down by 1 yard. 10 yards on 5 carries for Cade Blanchett tonight. Line of scrimmage now with a 1st down at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, it's the little things here for Smoky Valley trying to start to put it all together against some less experienced players for Southeast.
1st down and 10 from the 46. Lucas turns. Looked like he wanted to hand the football off and then tried to get it back out of the belly that time of Court Shugren. The two were kind of fighting over the football, and that goes for just a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, not a whole lot of room there. You're not going to run it up the middle against anybody here for Southeast of Saline. And, again, it'd be interesting to see him go to the air here, maybe try to take a shot or something, just get a little energy here in the second half.
They were staring into the face mask of Sterling Harp at nose guard. Sterling is taking a break, and Southeast of Saline has inserted a 35-pound upgrade in Eli Jackson right now. So things did not get easier there for the center for the Vikings. Jackson playing right over center for this 2nd down and 9. Here's a pitch out to Blanchett. He's being chased down and tackled. What a play by the defensive lineman sprinting out to that side, junior Evan Nicholson. He just chased down a running back in full 5th gear.
I was going to say, that's the crazy thing. It wasn't even like he was running. It's not like the back was waiting for anything to develop in front of him. He was in a full-tail sprint off to that side, and Nicholson just chased him down.
3rd down and 9 after Smoky Valley nets 1 yard on 1st and 2nd down. Clock continuing to roll. 2:10 left to go here.
Yeah, this might be one of those games we get to the end of it, and we don't have a lot of finals to pass along to you at home. But
we may
stay
not.
tuned to the scoreboard show.
We will check in with Randy Picking and Red Friday here on KINA. Get you updated on everything with the Chiefs. And it's been a busy week for the Chiefs. There's another timeout by Smoky Valley. We will step away and take it as well. Big 3rd and 9 coming up for the Vikings. Southeast of Saline in control of this one as we listen to it right here on KINA.
The Zombies are coming this Friday and Saturday to Elite Sports Paintball Complex. Though things may look a little different, here's what you should know. There will be a limited number of people each night for the Zombie Expedition, and space is running out. The best way to secure your spot for the upcoming zombie hunt is to reserve your space now. Tickets are available at zombieexpedition.com. Don't miss out. We need your help fighting zombies. Get your tickets now at zombieexpedition.com and join the Zombie Expedition this weekend.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Football on KINA.
I want to thank you for joining us for another week of Southeast of Saline Trojan football. And I think, guys, I'll speak for everybody when I say we feel blessed to be at the stadium on any given Friday. We knew that we were kind of taking this one game at a time as we went into the season, but then after last week happened and not only having a game fall out, but knowing that you've done everything in your control to be on the field, but the other team can't make it, it's devastating. And I know how I felt last week, and I can't imagine how these players and coaches felt last week, but here we are playing football again, and I think Mitch Gebhardt said it best when we were talking in pregame. Let's just hope that doesn't ever happen again.
Well, and he had very high praise for not only his team and what his guys have done, but Southeast of Saline as a school district, all the stuff that they put in place to try to keep everybody safe and, again, keep their guys out there on the field. So, they've made sure that they've done everything within their power, and here they are on a Friday night getting to play some football.
For the first time, Smoky Valley will dispatch 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. It's 3rd down and 9. Showing blitz as Southeast of Saline. Smoky Valley mishandles the snap, and they're going to lose 4 yards. Coming in there and making sure that play didn't have a chance was Caden Isaacson. So a loss of 4, and now that'll bring up 4th down and 13. Boy, it's just been a rough night for the Vikings. And I'm sure Scott City leading their game right now. Some of those fans are keeping an eye on this one thinking, what are we getting into next week? That Beaver program has had a lot of rich tradition.
Yeah, no, they certainly have. Well, for as rough of a night as it's been so far tonight for Smoky Valley, it was a rougher one for Solomon. Their game is already over. They lose 66-0 to state champion defending Canton Galva.
Canton Galva's really good again this year.
Yes.
Back deep, Eddie McVeigh. He will take this punt. It goes right off his chest plate, and they turn it over. Ball on the turf, and Smoky Valley looks like they might have it. They're celebrating as if they do. And if Southeast of Saline gives this one up, that'll be the second miscue on punt team here tonight. The first punt of the game, and then this last one here, as Eddie McVeigh was calling for a fair catch. Never got his hands off on it. It bounced right off his shoulder pads, and Smoky Valley will take over at the 22. Jathan? Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, you could just hear that thud just right off those shoulder pads there, those front pads, just bounced right away from him where Eddie couldn't quite get it.
First down and 10 now for Smoky Valley, the deepest they have been in Southeast territory tonight at the 22. Here's the give to Blanchett. Blanchett dropped the football maybe, or maybe he was just trying to get his hand down on the ground as he was scrambling for a place to land after he was hit hard by Clayton Meyer, also Eli Sawyers and Landon Allen in on that tackle.
Yeah, and on that kick return, I mean, that's why you got to reach out and catch it with your hands. You can't rely on trapping it against the chest plate because sometimes it just comes in there with too much velocity. And, I mean, you saw how far that thing skipped away as there's a Southeast of Saline Trojan slow to get up.
Third quarter has come to an end. Southeast of Saline leads at 53-0, but Smoky Valley, for the first time, in a position to put points on the board. See what the Vikings can do when we come back with the fourth and final quarter. You're listening to Trojan Football, brought to you by Will Electric in Salina.
When termites strike your home or business, you want to fight back with the best. Hasman Termite and Pest Control to the rescue. With over 57 years experience, they offer the best of options, including the new BASF High Precision Injection Treatment. Don't let termites get you down. With one phone call to Hasman's, they can put one in the win column for you. Call Hasman Termite and Pest Control today or visit HasmanTermite.com and follow them on Facebook.
PRP, or platelet-rich plasma injection therapy, has received quite a bit of attention since its use by many professional athletes. Professional football players like Peyton Manning and Jamal Charles have used PRP therapy for sports injuries and to avoid surgery. But you don't have to be a world-class athlete with millions of dollars for this cutting-edge therapy. PRP is available to you in the Saline Pain Clinic. Call the doctors for a consultation and see if this treatment is right for you. See them at 200 South 5th in the Saline Surgical Arts Center.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Smoky Valley in the Can-Equip red zone for the first time tonight. Vikings at the 19-yard line after Southeast of Saline mishandles a punt. 2nd down and 7 for the Vikings. Stacked backfield once again, no wide receivers. They go to Court Shugren, the first guy through, and looked like he broke a little bit of a barrier there, Tyler, and got inside of the 15 after shedding off first tackle. This will be now 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, and this is where we've really seen Southeast defense shine because they've allowed opponents to get in this area. I realize it's usually the first-team guys, but it's, anytime they get backed up against the wall like this, they really tighten up.
Blake, along with a couple of different guys, Jackson in there, and Nicholson. Smoky Valley running it to the left-hand side and still short of the 10-yard line, but they will pick up the first down, make it 1st down and 10 from the 12.
Well, Devin, you also mentioned to me that the end of the quarter kind of snuck up on us. We only got a chance to complete one drive in the entire third quarter, and that was the Southeast of Saline touchdown drive.
Yep.
Smoky Valley offense spent the rest of the time out there and still trying to cap things off. They still can get a first down before they get to the end zone. They got about a 2-yard gap to work with in there.
And you talk about negatives in this game. I know we were kind of nitpicking at halftime talking about penalties, but Southeast of Saline does have now 2 muffed punts where they have coughed the ball up twice for 2 turnovers. And this has been a team this year that's just played really good defense and hasn't turned the ball over. Here's a give off to the left-hand side. This is going to be Autry, and stumbling his way inside the 10 to almost the 7-yard line for a gain of 5 is Justice Autry.
Scoreless. Going into the fourth quarter as of 12 minutes ago, no points on the board by either team. 2 incredible defenses.
2nd down and 5 from the 7-yard line. Smoky Valley still trying to score here. They go back to Court Shugren, and Shugren is stacked up. May have gotten just about to the 5-yard line. That will be a gain of 2 yards and bring up 3rd down. Actually, you're going to spot him at the 6. 3rd and 4.
Yeah, once again, just not a lot of room to run there. And they're going to have to switch something up. May see them try to go strong side. They've got a lot of space in between the ball and the pylon on that right side. That might be something where you run a toss play, just try to get somebody with more speed. But the problem is Southeast still good at containing plays like that.
For the most part, first-team offense for Smoky Valley, second-team defense for Southeast of Saline. 3rd down and 4. Coming up for the Vikings, they go to Autry. Justice Autry trying it off the left-hand side. May have enough for the first down. He does not score. Let's see where they're going to spot this football. He could have got a first down at the 3rd-yard line, and they're going to say he's short. That's going to be 4th and 1 from the 4.
Well, Southeast got themselves in a similar situation against Russell with some of the younger guys out there, and let's see if they can come up with another big stop here.
Southeast of Saline has pitched 3 shutouts this year. 4 shutouts, excuse me. 3. Smoky Valley has had 3 shutouts where they haven't scored. Vikings sprinting to the line of scrimmage, almost running out of time here. Clock down to 1. They're going to snap it. They try a pitch out to the right-hand side, Justice Autry, and he's going to be tripped up by Eddie McVeigh. He'll fall ahead to the 2, and that'll give him the first down. It'll be 1st and goal for Smoky Valley just inside of the 2-yard line.
Well, they're taking their time. I mean, they've been just kind of slowly, methodically marching down the field. As I mentioned, this is still the second drive of the second half with about 8:19 left to play.
Clock continuing to run here. 8:10 left to play. 53-0 Southeast of Saline. Autry still in the backfield. They're going to turn. Lucas, the quarterback, keeping it, and he's going to get in. So the first touchdown of the night for Smoky Valley, and finally student body in front of us has a little something to cheer for as their quarterback, Jake Lucas, takes it in from 2 yards away.
Yep, and again, just good to try to build some momentum. That was a pretty good drive that they strung together, and they end up punching 6 on the board at the tail end of it. So, good on them for working that down the field. And again, that's the momentum they can take into next week and hopefully finish off their regular season with a victory.
So here in the fourth quarter, 7:59 left to go. Jake Lucas scores the first time for Smoky Valley. Now going for 2. Lucas rolling out, has Lysell in the end zone, also has a shallow receiver with Bronson Golden for a 2-point conversion. And Smoky Valley has scored 8 points. 53-8 our score, just under 8 minutes left to play. Southeast of Saline gives up an 8-point drive, but they're still in control of this one here on KINA.
At Commercial Tire Centers, we know you have many places to be and lots of things to see. Your tires are everything, and we are here to serve you. From the smallest lawnmower tire to passenger tires, farm tires, and the largest truck and commercial tires, call Commercial Tire. Oil changes, suspension service, alignment, too many things to mention. The trusted tire experts are at Commercial Tire Center.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Some life injected into the homestands here at Smoky Valley as they're on the board, avoiding their 4th shutout offensively for the Vikings of the season. 53-8 our score, 7:59 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Tyler Henry, Devin Haney, Jathan Show on the sidelines. We'll check in with him here after this Smoky Valley kick. Southeast of Saline dispatches their return team. It will be Michael Murray. Chase Pogue back deep for the Trojans. See if Smoky Valley wants to pull maybe a little trickeration kick here. They will not. They'll kick it away. Angling to the left-hand side. It'll be Murray at the 14. He'll curl his way back to the 12. Now steps on the accelerator, comes left side to the 20. Dips in, now back out to the 25. Stares down a defender, and then tiptoes out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Jathan?
Just an exciting time down here on the Southeast Saline sideline. Having that defense there, almost get that 4th down stop. The varsity group here really did a nice job trying to pump them up and almost had that good stop there. We thought it was short as well on this sideline, but they gave them the first down for the next play that resulted in a Smoky Valley touchdown. But just nice to see where the varsity side, the first stringers were really trying to amp up this junior varsity squad that's out there right now.
It looks like where we're headed right now, everyone, it will be a district championship matchup next weekend on Friday night at Steve Fritz Field, because Scott City is leading Colby right now 28-0. That's with about 5.5 minutes left to play in Scott City.
And what a tough end of the year here for Colby after the hot start that they got out to, but Southeast of Saline put up a big piece on them, and then then Scott City kind of coming in and doing the same.
And that's one of those wins, boy, that could really light a fire under Scott City, too. It's not that they've been doing terrible, but they could really gain some momentum off of that win. So I expect a big, aggressive Scott City team coming in next weekend to Steve Fritz Field.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. If you just want to play the common opponent game, Southeast of Saline, I mean, again, SES blew out Russell. It was just a 22-0 win for Scott City over Russell, and right now SES is hanging a 53-piece on a Smoky Valley team that kept it within 1 point of Scott City last week.
Yep, good point.
But you're right. I mean, you get the right motivation and you have the right pieces. I know Scott City is the team that a lot of people were kind of favoring in the preseason to come out and win this district.
2 receivers to the left-hand side. Southeast of Saline here in offense. It's a 3rd down and 9. Luke Gebhardt in there at quarterback, and he's going to throw it out to Daniel Kerr, it looks like, playing wide receiver this time. Actually, that is. Maybe that's Wyatt Boyd.
Devin, I want to make one more point about this Southeast of Saline football team, because I don't think we've mentioned it at any point this year, but correct me if I'm wrong, this team was in 2A last year.
Southeast, yes.
Can you imagine what this team would be doing in 2A this year? That's just not fair.
Yeah, but also you have to look at some of the superlatives go along with that. Still in 2A, there's a blocked punt by Smoky Valley, and still going to be not a bad punt here, as it's going to roll around and go to the 45, and now taken down at the 45-yard line. The Vikings will take over from there. Well, I was going to say, you talked about Silver Lake and Rossville earlier on. Those are still two teams that reside in Class 2A. That we know what's been happening with Rossville over the last couple of years, being in the same district with them. But when you look at the smaller classes, there's good teams all the way around. You talked about Topeka Hayden earlier and Perry LeCompton, which, by the way, that game is still scoreless heading into the fourth quarter. That Topeka Hayden team can play with just about anybody. They played Manhattan this year.
Yep.
Who's in 6A. So I always say, man, don't underestimate the small school teams because there's some really talented teams out there and teams that are in programs that are good every single year. There's a pass now out to the right-hand side for Smoky Valley. They're going to complete it and advance it to the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 10 out to Bronson Golden.
Devin, that's a Topeka Perry LeCompton game. It's still scoreless.
Wow.
About halfway into the fourth quarter.
It's amazing. Smoky Valley with the ball now here. They are at the 35-yard line. 4 minutes left to go. And the Vikings looking to finish strong here. Still running their first-team offense. Brand Hebel out to the left-hand side. They go to Court Sugarin, and Sugarin will flush it ahead for 4 yards to the 31.
And actually, really quickly, just one more quick update on that. A minute 33 left in the game. Still 0-0.
It's a fun time of year, I know that.
Yeah. This is the time of the year where those kinds of games are the ones you really start keeping an eye on.
Obviously, a district title is one of the goals of the Southeast of Saline team. It will get you a playoff game at home as a big, big tackle by Evan Nicholson as he takes Justice Autry down for a 5-yard loss. That'll stall this drive a little bit. Actually, that was a loss of about 6. Good work there by Nicholson.
Well, at the end of the day, Southeast of Saline, they're going to go 1-0 this week. And I talked to Coach Gebhardt. I said, well, how did it feel going 0-0? And he goes, we didn't like it.
Yeah.
We didn't like it at all.
Missed that one there. That should be in front of the 0. That's for sure. 3rd down and 11 now after that big man play by Evan Nicholson. Puts Smoky Valley back to the 36-yard line. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. We could be done here by 9 o'clock.
We could go to the Stuga again.
Yeah. Back to the I formation. Little screen pass out to Brant Hebel. That'll go for a gain of 2 as he is blasted out of bounds by Landon Allen. Boy, Landon has been one of those guys that's been a pleasant surprise this year. Just kind of all over the field. Coming into this game here tonight, Landon Allen was 4th on the team in tackles for the Southeast of Saline defense. Clock continuing to roll. 2:14 left to go. 53-8. Trojans, don't forget, 10 o'clock tonight, we'll have the Kansas High School Football Scoreboard Show. Comes along the Kansas Information Network. 10 until 11 o'clock, scores and game wraps from across the state of Kansas with your host, Eric Peterson. That happens every Friday night here on KINA. 4th down and 9, Vikings going to go for it. 3 wide receivers on the right-hand side. Lucas rolling out, pitches to Justice Autry. He tries to keep his feet in bounds, and he stepped out of bounds a yard shy of the sticks, and that will be a turnover on downs, I believe, for the Southeast of Saline defense. And it is. 1st down Trojans going the other way.
Yep, and more than likely Southeast of Saline going to finish this game, actually almost positively, unless they call timeouts. This will be Southeast hanging on to it here for the end of the game. Just a minute 25 left to go.
9-yard gain. They needed 11, did Smoky Valley, to keep that drive alive. Clock continuing to roll. 1:14 left to play. Couple of substitutions up front here for Southeast of Saline. Looks like they're subbing guys all over the place. Daniel Kerr will take over at quarterback for Luke Gebhardt. 3rd quarterback tonight for Southeast. Big pitch out to Jude Golden. He dropped that. It bounced off the turf and came right back to him, and Jude is going to be able to get a 4-yard gain out of this. Boy, that was a crazy play.
Hey, you take it when you can get it. I mean, at least the bounce goes Southeast of Saline's way. But, yeah, that could have definitely been disastrous here.
That might be the last play of the game. There's a fraction of a second difference. The play clock is just ahead of the game clock by about 0.5. I mean, it is really, really close. So Southeast of Saline is going to run one more play. Golden, the lone back in the backfield, and the Trojans will take a knee, and that will do it. Southeast of Saline will advance with a 53-8 victory over the Smoky Valley Vikings, and the Trojans now look ahead to a district championship matchup. It's not planned that way. It's just the way it fell this year for the Trojans and the Beavers next week on the field, a Steve Fritz Field on the campus of Southeast of Saline, as the 6-0 Southeast of Saline Trojans will take on the 5-2 Scott City Beavers next Friday night. But here tonight, we'll cap this one, another Trojan victory, 53-8, our final score. When we come back, it's the post-game show brought to you by L&L Advisors. We'll get comments from head coach Mitch Gebhardt, also a player, have final stats for you, and a final check of the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. It's all coming up, and brought to you by L&L Advisors, a big Trojan victory, 53-8, right here on KINA.
Are you looking for a local brokerage firm to help with your Medicare, life insurance, and annuities? L&L Advisors is the #1 local Medicare supplement and insurance specialist. Medicare can be confusing. Let the experts at L&L Advisors help make sense of it. Stop by one of 3 locations in Salina or McPherson and speak to an agent about the needs of your family. L&L Advisors, main office at 717 Roach, right off Crawford, and their second location in the Central Mall in Salina, and a new location in McPherson, based on honesty and trust. Contact L&L Advisors today.
One call will do it all. With Will, there's a way.
If you stand in front of your electrical